Alright, so welcome everyone to our first podcast. The weekly podcast by whenever we're gonna do it.
Bi-monthly will do.
Yeah, alright.
Whenever we feel like it.
I am here with the lovely Chris.
Oh, hello.
I can't say anything about you, Sana. Hey.
Thanks for
He's
that.
lovely too.
I'm not allowed to say that.
He's alright.
He's a trainee.
Damn.
And John.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, bro.
John's the least politically correct of the four of us.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Yeah, I know. I like to think I'm not Kyle Sandilands, but I think if he and I were in a room and we weren't beating the crap out of each other, we'd probably get along like a house on fire. It's a bit sad.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Carlos and Stanley. Alright. So
Where's my gold microphone?
to
My
start-
stoogie.
To start off our podcast, I reckon the first thing we'll do, what we're going to do first is like talk about what the games we've been playing recently. So who wants to start?
Start us off, Ryan. You
Alright,
do it.
Chris is going to start because he talked first.
Motherfucker. Alright. So I've been playing, thanks to our lovely host, I've been playing Dota 2.
Yep.
So, any opinions from across the table?
Oh, of course, you're going to look straight at me. Yeah, right. Well, see, I'm not a Dota 2 player, not by choice, but because I can't be bothered fishing around for a beta 2 key.
I have like 50 at the moment.
What I
I'll
was
give
gonna-
you all 50.
Right.
What I was going to say
Yeah.
was I could throw a stone and get 10. But
Yeah.
no. See, as far as MOBA games go, I'm not that big a MOBA game player. The one that I actually do play when I am forced to play a MOBA game is League of Legends, and that is solely because a lot of my friends play it. A lot of them actually run tournaments for it too, which means that as far as learning how to play League of Legends, I know I'm getting a good education for it.
I've got to learn to hate you then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well no, the feeling is mutual, Chris.
So, Sana, have you played Dota or LoL or any MOBA games?
No, but my friend did. Actually, he pushed me to play World of Warcraft, so I played that a little bit.
That's not a MOBA game.
Yeah, that's the closest thing I got.
That's the origin story, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Well, that's not even true. World of Warcraft isn't the origin story for Dota. The origin story really for Dota is
Some guy
Warcraft.
bored in their bedroom.
Well,
and
no,
decided to
well, I mean, like it all
Decided
started.
to what, Ryan?
It all started as a
Make a
mod
game.
for.
That sounded really dodgy the way you...
Yeah.
But it all really started as a mod for Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne,
Yeah.
which I still haven't played. I do enjoy. from
So,
time to
how
time.
much have you played, like, of League of Legends? Or
How much League of Legends have I
Yeah.
actually played? I've had the game since just after it came out of beta, so that was season 1.
Is it still?
No, it's
Never mind, yeah, sorry, I was
it's
thinking
in
of
in
yeah.
full release now. I think they're up to season 2, but don't quote me on that. So I've had it now for just over nearly 2 years now. And in that time, I've probably played a grand total of 10 hours.
Right, which
Yeah.
is like polar opposite to me because I've never played a MOBA game until I got Dota 2 off God knows where.
Your enthusiasm for Dota has just, like, it's directed me towards the game. I've had
Yeah.
to play it now.
I've played it. I've looked at my Raptor account, which tracks how many hours you play of whatever games like
Yes.
you've got to connect to.
God,
I hate Raptor.
Yeah, and I'm coming up to my 100th hour of Dota, and I still don't think I'm good at all. But I shouldn't have said that because I'm actually teaching Chris at the moment.
Yeah, sensei.
See, but the thing is,
Show
you'll
me the
never
ropes.
be that good at Dota because you actually have a job and a life and bills to pay.
True.
You leave the house from time to time. You don't die in front of your computer.
I'm thinking about it though.
Well, you know.
I'm getting to the point where I'm like considering doing that for a
I
job.
understand
Yeah,
what
but-
you're talking about.
But
Like,
do us all
I
a favour
played
and
it
have a
last
bucket
night.
under your seat because cleaning that up is not fun.
No, don't make that step. Don't go there, man. You gotta learn to get up. So we don't need no South Park up in here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get Chris addicted, and then we're both gonna just like not have any jobs
You're
anymore.
pretty close to it, honestly. Like, we shouldn't say that considering this is kind of our job. Probably
Oh,
a bad thing.
Yeah, that thing.
No,
What
no,
about that?
you're kind of close to it. Like, you showed me the ropes last night. We played a couple of bot games, and then I went and played a game on my own, and I saw my life split into two paths. I could either sit there all night playing this game and learning the ropes and just getting into it, or go to bed and be a real person.
Did anyone call you like a noob or just yell?
No,
at
it
you
wasn't that
around
bad because like that was my first game against humans after you left.
Yeah.
And I kind of held my own. Like I got a few kills. I wasn't feeding them, and Jason even gave us the props for it, so that was okay.
The good thing about Dota is, I'm not sure if LoL does, but Dota has a really good matchmaking system where it actually teams you up with people who are actual similar skills, not just like some weird number.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there was
Random,
one guy
yeah.
who just dominated the entire map, but
Yeah.
like as a whole, that was pretty much the feeling.
So,
I
like,
got.
how long have you been playing for?
So I've had one game against humans.
Oh,
I've had
alright.
2 games with Ryan where we just played against bots and just to sort of learn. what
So
we
not
were.
many hours.
The first one didn't even
Oh,
play
like
against bots.
2 hours. Yeah, the first game it was just me and him in the arena just fucking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. Training.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
each game is like 40 minutes long.
40 minutes.
Can
a
be
game.
up to that. What's
Yeah.
the longest a game?
I'd
could be?
played like an hour and 10-minute game
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I was gonna say it ranges anywhere between half an hour to an hour and a half. It can
Yeah.
go.
So
So,
there is a
like-
time limit.
No, there isn't
No,
a
no,
time.
yeah.
There's no time limit. It just depends on the skills of the players on the field. So if you've got a bunch of really high skilled players really pushing their lanes properly,
See, I don't know if he knows, like, do you know anything about
Oh
Dota?
yeah, I was getting
No,
that feeling
no.
like we've
Yeah,
sort of
so
we've
pretty
assumed a lot
much-
of knowledge here, so it might be
Yeah.
worth describing what's going on.
Pretty
That's
much,
true.
you start as 2 teams of 5
Okay.
on like a kind of square, somewhat symmetrical map. And there's these things called creeps, which you don't control, but they're a part of your team, and they just continually push into the
They
base.
generate
Yeah.
at your base and they follow specific paths towards the enemy's base.
Yeah.
And they'll
Okay.
meet each other, like each 2 different teams will meet, their creeps will fight and just sort of battle out as AI.
Yeah, just
So-
in the background type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so what you need to do is kill the enemy creeps so your creeps can like keep pushing,
Okay.
and kill the towers, which are these you start with there's a towers placed along what are called lanes.
They're like
three
defense
lanes.
posts, like
Yeah.
like real choke points. Like
Yeah, I
the,
can
the
picture
AIs will never get past the towers on their own kind of thing, but they'll have a go. And
Okay.
they act as your fodder. As you're,
Yeah,
like,
you need
attacking
to
them
come and
through.
like
Yeah.
assist them and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
open the
And then
path
pretty
for them.
much the rest is just like getting money, buying items, and like fighting like the rest of the other team people.
Yeah,
So you can
it's
push
like
better.
it's like an arena-based game. So the idea is that every time you start from scratch again,
Yeah.
kind of like StarCraft. Or
Oh,
something
okay,
like that.
yeah.
There's
yeah.
no persistent leveling. Well, as far as I can tell, there's no persistent leveling up.
There's a level. There's a level, but it means nothing.
I
So-
saw
Well,
at the start
no,
of the
that's
game-
not necessarily true either. There is a level, and it's not persistent in sort of like you need to get to a particular level to unlock certain items or something.
Mm.
All the level does is really just give a rough determination of your skill, which is part of how they do matchmaking. So
That
Does
makes
it
sense.
actually though? Because any match you play, you get increased a little bit of level. Just like it depends.
yeah, but
But-
that's still an overall increase to your natural skill, even
I
if you're
saw at the start of the game there was an option for slots for items that you could have before the game started.
yeah.
Like, can you earn items through leveling up and then have them before the game starts? Or?
No, there's no disadvantages or advantages in that
Yeah,
game.
other than
like,
the skill that you've built up.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then you'll be matchmaking with people.
Yeah, yeah.
Similar skills. So.
Yeah, I kind of like that kind of aspect of the game almost turned me off to it for a while. Like, I like to have like something to show for the amount of like hours I put into the game, but
The 2
after
hours.
playing it,
no
it
man, you
definitely-
get costumes.
yeah.
The costumes.
Well, you
Are
see,
sick.
yeah, and that's another interesting thing is that in League of Legends, just as much as there is in Dota, of course, there's 100 million one characters you can play.
oh, that
Right.
mind-boggling how many different characters and
Yeah.
how they're all completely different.
Yeah, and yet they're all balanced
Yeah,
against
yeah,
each other
but
as
they
well.
don't tell you anything about them. It's like you have 30 seconds to choose your character. Pick
Yeah.
one of these
Uh-huh.
400 names.
There is
Yeah.
a learning tab
What?
in the game where you can actually click on specific. You need to know what you want to look for first, because it just shows you all the heroes. You just click on, and it actually shows you videos of all their skills and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But if you're not looking for a particular hero, that's not really the best way of like
Is it
learning
is
about
it like
something.
the heroes near the start of the alphabet, so A through to Z? So the A ones are easier or like lower level?
No.
No.
No,
Not
I
at
thought
all.
that might have been the
Not
sort of
at
system
all.
they implemented. No.
Not at
No,
all.
no,
They,
no.
they could have made it that easy.
Is the
Yeah.
gameplay and graphics like Age of Empires or something?
No, it's more like StarCraft area, like it's
Yeah.
all fantasy based.
so it's
Yeah,
not
spells.
first person or third person or anything.
No,
is
it's
it?
top down.
Yeah,
Top
thought
down,
so.
yeah.
Thought so.
RTS.
Yeah.
Think of like a kind of more like middle-aged fantasy StarCraft kind of look.
Okay.
But
I
the
don't know if
lore,
that actually is what you would describe it as, but
I'm
that's,
pretty sure that doesn't really matter though, because like I can't see a large percentage of that fan base really getting into the lore and all the what's behind it. It's way
Yeah.
more about the mechanics.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like a sport or something.
It is
Yeah.
there, by the way. Like each character has like a huge paragraph about like the lore.
A
and stuff.
huge
Mm.
paragraph.
It's you haven't even been in the right tab, so you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I just like. Is there a big community of people that like follow the lore and that kind of stuff?
I don't think so.
There would be somewhere. I mean, you know, they don't write it for nothing.
There's always those people.
Or there's always the people who actually wrote the law. You know, they probably care a little bit.
Yeah,
I
me too.
didn't mean to shit on the guy. It just seemed a bit more like an esport kind of thing to me.
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
is.
it
It's like
is.
designed specifically for that. So
Yeah, I mean, like I spectated on your game before I started playing, and that was just drop in. You can watch it straight off the bat. Like,
So yeah, they even like feature games of like pros that are playing at the time. So if you're just bored and you want to play, like see a pro play in real time, you
yeah,
can.
that's cool.
So
So the game is addicting, yeah?
Oh
yeah,
man,
it's like crack.
I played one game and I want to get back into it.
Yeah.
Like I almost
You had
didn't
your
come
first
today.
hit.
Yeah,
It's not that
terrible.
hard to learn, is it?
No, it's
Oh,
like
it
There's
can.
just lots of options and stuff.
you need
yeah.
someone like Ryan. Like Ryan totally gave me 2 entire games of just like showing me exactly how the mechanics
a
work.
full teaching
Yeah.
of the game.
The
Yeah.
problem was I didn't have a mic and I was actually typing out everything.
Yeah, that was
a pain.
Yeah. I'm like, so now you have to last hit the creep, do it now, and then you just like, ugh.
I'm just stood there waiting for you to.
That'd
Like,
be
your dude
painful.
just stood still in the world and just like type.
And then it just like took control of your character for you and did
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's good like that. You can submit your character's like control or even the creep's control onto another player,
Yeah.
so they can show you techniques or anything
okay.
like that. But this is turning into the WGcast,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
why don't we
so-
move on?
Anything else you've been playing lately?
Persona 4. And
Ah.
not the golden edition on the Vita. Like I cracked out the PS2, found an old copy of it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sweet.
OG.
Yeah, man. Like it's so good playing that. But like I was saying to you before, John, like playing it on the big HD TV PS2 graphics, it's a
Yep.
bit funky. Like
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. I was playing not long ago I was playing an old PS1 game, Bushido Blade, which is awesome, by the way. It's probably one of the best fighting games ever made.
I read some of your review on that.
Yeah. And if you go to my Twitter feed and go hashtag Bushido Blade, I just like
Plug,
basically,
plug, 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 plug.
I basically crapped on about it non-stop for like 3 days.
Follow
Yeah.
John at Game Freak 431.
Yeah, at Game Freak 431. That's
Yeah,
the one.
well.
But anyway, so Bushido Blade. But I was running that. It was a PS1 game, and I was running that on a. I think it was probably a. It was a 40-inch flat screen.
PS1 game.
PS1
Yeah.
I'm playing
game.
Wow.
PS2 and that already
Didn't
feels kind of
didn't
bad.
Yeah.
look too bad. I mean, it was still blocky as all hell, but considering that even on a normal size screen, the game's a bit blocky anyway.
Yeah, no shit.
Right? It was
pixels.
still. Yeah, it wasn't that great, but it was.
Polygons? We've
it
got
was playable.
polygons. PlayStation 1.
I tried GTA 3 on the original Xbox, and that was deathly. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah.
the same with San Andreas.
Yeah.
It looked like the worst piece of
You
shit
can play
I've
that on
ever
iPad.
seen.
Yeah, it's just 55-inch LED TV. It doesn't work.
No.
You got to sit real far back from that shit.
No, I
Man,
think
honestly,
for
like,
for San
either way.
for San Andreas you have to play it on the PC because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mods are really what make that game.
They've been
True.
released on iPad now.
San Andreas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think San
I
Andreas
think- no.
3 and Vice City.
Three's already been. Like,
Three
yeah.
Vice and Vice City have,
10
and I
10-year
understand.
anniversary. Or
Yeah, the
something?
10-year anniversary
Yeah.
editions, and I understand that San Andreas is probably next.
Oh,
But-
I've heard about it. I don't know if they
yeah.
actually gone through with it.
No,
but
they
they're
haven't gone
really
through with it
close.
yet. No, San Andreas is my favorite Grand Theft Auto game
Get your
like
CJ
of all
on.
time. Yeah.
Hell
I'll-
yeah.
I'd say
I'm
so.
gonna get fat.
Yeah.
No, I just liked how it really was. It really did
Big
sum up.
smoke.
It summed up Grand Theft Auto
Taking
so
a Unity
beautifully.
station.
Hell
Grand Theft Auto is about an insane America,
Yeah.
right? It's about taking America's media, what they broadcast out to the world as themselves, and reflecting it back upon them.
Oh, I
Right.
love that mirror that they put up.
Yeah.
GTA great for that. the
Yeah, and
developers
San
and
Andreas
stuff.
does that the best, right? And you can even sum it up into one scene, really. And that is when you get to San Fierro, which is Grand Theft Auto's version of San Francisco. And the main character, CJ, walks into the garage because he's looking for his silencer because he's got to go and kill a pimp, right? Yeah. And so he's walking, he's like, oh, dude, where's my silencer? And he talks to his mate, Caesar. And Caesar says, oh, here you go, bro. Take my silencer. He goes, dude, where did you get that? And Caesar just says, same place I buy my pants, dude. This is America. And
Yeah.
that just sums
What
up
do they call the gun shops in the
ammunition.
Ammunition, yeah.
Yep.
There's like
So
Cluck and Bell. And
Oh,
Oh,
man,
man.
I think the radio ads for ammunition are my favorite. Like,
I don't think we should go down that train of
yeah,
discussion
sorry, before
right
we
now.
Episode 4 Golden. Oh, wait,
Oh
Golden.
yeah, I started playing it and it's another one of those addictive games. I got past the first few hours and I wasn't really keen on what was going on. Like it's kind of just like a JRPG with a few twists.
What is the actual gameplay like? Because I don't think
So
I've
it's
ever seen
essentially-
anything that isn't a cutscene.
It's essentially like a high school simulator. It's all based around your social links. Personas are these like kind of Aeon kind of Final Fantasy style monsters that you
GFs.
can, yeah, you know, that kind of thing. Like they use them to fight, and it's basically a back and forth between going to dungeons and training and doing your standard JRPG stuff, and then going back to your normal life as like a teenager. It's all, you have this close knit group of friends, and you're all trying to solve a series of murders around this small country town.
So is it a bunch of like conversation trees, or is it like trying to find a
You do
specific
have
item?
conversation options, but your main choices are in who you're going to spend your time with and how you're going to spend your day and that kind of stuff. Like in my one, I've basically just replicated my life. I'm like in the soccer club and I play a
Right.
musical instrument and that kind of stuff. And you have like, I think 5 or 6 base stats. You have diligence, intelligence, a couple of other understanding, things like that. And they go up depending on how you spend your time.
So I'm guessing it's one of those games where you can't really do everything in one place.
Definitely not. No, like if you want to see everything and see all the social trees and get to that high level of social interaction with each person, you're going to have to play 2 or 3 times.
Social interaction.
Yeah, and this game's like a good 60.
It's
Yeah, a good 60, 70 hours long as well. So,
So it's a big game. It's
it's huge. Like
Oh,
proper
yeah.
old school PS2 like RPG big. Like none of this like 4-hour
It's
campaign
big.
bullshit. But speaking of that, really
look
quickly-
shit on my 60-inch TV.
I know, right? White people problems. But speaking of your 4-hour games, I clocked Spec Ops: The Line again under Ryan's recommendation
Hell
over the weekend.
yes.
And yeah, like you said, the shortest amount of sittings possible. Did it in 2, and man, there's some moments in that game that I don't even want to talk about.
Nah, have you, has
You
either
weren't
of you
there,
played
man.
Spec Ops?
You weren't even
No, I
there.
played the demo.
Demo?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
It was pretty good. It had a huge Gears of War feel to it, you know?
Think? Oh, with the cover-based thing. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, have I got a surprise for you? No, but seriously, like, have you played it? John?
Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You
should
got to
play
get into it.
It is my favorite game of last year, hands down.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Isn't
a
it like
couple
a
of journalists
small-
have said the same thing? Like that, surprisingly, like of all these big, huge games that came out, Spec Ops, like sleeper hit style, you should play this shit. But, yeah.
I thought it was like a small 10-hour, like...
4 hours, man. Nothing.
No, it's not
Really?
4. No, it's not 4
I
hours.
did it in 5, I think.
I did it in like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you can spend the time. You can definitely walk around just taking the scenery and all that kind of stuff. It's that kind of game.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, is it?
beautifully built. It's set in Dubai. You know, like
Yeah,
the richest
it's-
city in the world, basically.
Isn't that the same as the demo?
Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
game
the
is
whole
set in
game
that
is-
city.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's like post this massive event, which is basically been this gigantic sandstorm. which is just-
Sandstorm,
I
Yeah,
finally
you
now
can
understand
tell.
which game you're talking about. I have played the demo for that.
Yeah.
See, I don't,
I know which one
that's
you're
it.
is the
talking
demo
about.
the first level? Like you turn
I
up and-
just if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's where like Dubai is completely under a giant sandstorm or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like there's bloody sand everywhere, it gets all over the place.
And you're like fighting around planes
yeah, and
and
like
stuff.
you know
Yeah.
you're basically
Oh,
fighting
the
in
planes. Was
half,
that
half
the demo?
sand dunes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the first level, and like all these recommendations have come my way to play this game, and I'm just thinking 2 or 3 levels in, I'm thinking this is just your generic military shooter, like look how cool we are, Team America kind of shit. And by the end of the game, it's raised so many like questions about just the nature of war and all this crazy shit about like human nature and all this
And you just
fucked
like
up
some
stuff.
broken military, dude. That's the reason
Yeah.
I like say play it in as few like sessions as you can, because you play like I played in 1 session and I barely got off, and you just see like some guy who's all like, yeah, let's go to war.
Yeah.
And
They're all
his
joking
friends
at
are,
the
like,
start, like-
high-fiving and stuff, and he's like doing all this like, oh, I'm reloading, cover me, and by the end he's just like, fuck, I need to reload.
Yeah, there's some
So you
stuff.
see the character dramatically
Oh,
change.
and like in the gameplay as well, like Ryan was saying, like he says, cover me or bogey down, that kind of stuff. And by the end of the game, he's like, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like you know, he's
Like,
just
it doesn't-
really
yeah.
intensely like getting into it. It's great.
Character development in a military shooter, that's
Yeah.
a first.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's-
surprise,
that's
you know.
Game of the
actually-
year.
Yeah, well,
Game of the year.
The only disappointment was
It's too small.
not that.
Mm.
No.
I think it's a good amount. Like seeing that same progression over a long amount of time would have been good. But I think the only way they could really beef it out would be just
True,
to add more
true,
shooting.
yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that
But
kind
as,
of got boring towards the end.
As Ryan said, if you take a break and come back, you don't really like see it as well as
Oh,
if
you
you do
could,
it.
but it's just the optimal way of playing it.
I think what they're talking about is immersion. Is you don't want to break the immersion.
Yeah, exactly.
of
Oh,
your
speaking of that, I
mindset
played it on
within the
Steam,
game.
and there's some fucking problems with that game as far as the drivers are concerned.
Wait. Oh yeah.
On
I had
Steam,
to
yeah.
update drivers, disable sound stuff in my control panel, loads of bullcrap technical stuff to get out of the way. But once I got sat down and started playing it, yeah, fantastic.
See, the weird thing was that kind of came out of nowhere as well, because they showed demos of it at E3 like the year or 2 prior.
True.
And they had like this weird like sand mechanic, like you know how the sandstorms
Yeah.
sometimes. They actually had a mechanic where, you would actually like shoot down windows and stuff, and then the sand would come in and take out guys.
Yeah, like there'd be sand piled up behind this giant
Oh.
window and
yeah.
shoot it.
There's a few
yeah.
remnants
Collapses
of
the guys.
that, but like now it's just pretty much all scripted now. But
Yeah, it's a few specific events where.
Well, as in the demo wasn't as scripted as the final build.
No, it's totally
Really?
linear. It's linear as hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's still awesome game.
Yeah, fantastic.
So is that everything?
That's one of
Was
us
that-
out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I played a bit of Valkyria Chronicles, but I'm not going to get into that.
Maybe
Sana.
next week.
Yeah, I'm more into games like, you know, first person, third person graphical games like Halo 4, Assassin's Creed 3.
You played,
That's my game of
you
the year.
clocked Halo 4 Legendary a few times recently.
Yeah, legendary heroic man to the max, just destroyed it with a few friends. Spartanox. I was following it until a few weeks ago, so yeah, I'm up to episode 7 or something.
How many other in the series? 12?
Of Spartanox?
Yeah.
I think there's 9 episodes in this season 1.
They're going to go on and do further seasons of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, but I think we're gonna have to pay for it.
Oh yeah, no, you do. I
Yeah.
thought you had to start paying for it after episode 1.
Oh yeah, actually no, that's right.
After
episode 1.
episode 1 is free, and then after that you got to pay for it.
Yeah,
That's
Unless
the
you
kind
buy-
of DLC I can
I
go
bu-
along with.
yeah.
Are they
Like,
worth paying for though? Because I heard they were
they're
just like,
great.
Well, that's
No,
the
they're
thing.
great.
It's not like Call of Duty DLC where it's like a new map to shoot mindless zombies on or
Yeah.
something. It actually it is actually essentially a game in unto itself. So episode 1 provides you with a level and a story and a beginning of a plot, and then episode 2 continues. It's like a TV show that you can interact with.
Interactive TV.
Interactive
Yeah,
TV.
no
And
joke.
in fact, that is
Walking
exactly what it is. Yeah, it's interactive
got
TV.
episodes. It's like you just want to come in every week and just watch
Yeah,
it.
it's that whole tune
Yeah.
in like
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
I,
With friends
I used to
and
never
everything.
actually play Spartan Ops. I used to just watch the
Same, the
opening
videos.
cutscenes on YouTube.
So what's the pricing like? Like how much is an episode?
It's not. There's no pricing yet. It's episode 1 to 9.
That'll be
free.
some kind of.
Is it?
Ah,
Oh,
yeah.
they made it free.
Yeah,
There you go.
they're all free. So I think season 2 is gonna be.
Yeah,
Costly.
they'll probably they shouldn't charge that much. What I could imagine is they'll probably start charging you like $2 an episode or something like that.
They'll do a
Maybe
season
even
pass,
5,
so you
like-
can do like say $15 for the season. or something.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's probably how they.
There already is a season pass for Halo, isn't there?
Oh, that'll get you all the
that probably just means like
multiplayer
any
stuff.
other DLC that comes out. Or something.
Yeah, and it also gives you early access to
Yeah.
that DLC as well.
And see, that brings me up to another point. Even though I don't really look for the achievements in the game and stuff, well, actually I do sometimes. You know how they implement, like they bring a DLC out,
Yeah.
and then they add it onto that list, and you can't
Oh, that
complete the
pisses
game.
me off. I got to like I can't remember which game it was, maybe Halo Reach or something. I got
Yeah.
to
You get to the-
975 out of 1,000.
And then they bring a DLC
yeah,
out.
they popped it in, and now I'm like 975 out of 1,300. Like,
Same
Yeah.
with Halo 4. I got all the achievements, but I need another 5 from Crimson DLC or something.
Yeah,
So
no,
I've done stuff like that where Skate 2 I 100%ed like the whole main game, and like because I 100% it, I left it in my on my shelf for a couple of months. Then I went through my achievement list, saw that had like 3 DLC packs, and I was missing like 750 gamer scores. So
Yeah.
that day I bought all of them. And
Oh,
played through
wow.
all of them and got
Wow.
all the achievements.
Is it that easy to get? Do it one day?
Well, the DLC ones are.
Yeah, true.
I spent so much time in the online of Skate 2 though. That was.
I
fun,
played
so.
a bit of the online in
Yeah.
the first Skate game, and I was so disappointed because I love the crap out of that game.
You will love 2, 3. Is yeah.
Like, remember the race one where you had to go through the gates and do certain tricks through the
Yeah.
gates? It would be like the mechanic basically. It's just a race around a track or whatever, and you go through these little like light gates, and it'll say, "Do a trick through this gate," and they'll activate it. The only 2 tricks you've ever had to do were an ollie or a kickflip.
Yeah.
It's so dumb, such a waste. Because like I
Boring.
love the crap out of that game.
See, in Skate 2, the reason I liked it so much is because you had all that stuff. You had like the tricks, you had combos, whatever. But
Coffin.
There was also like
Put your coffin on.
so much coffin. There was also like a kind of co-op, like half co-op, half competitive mode where it would set up challenges, kind of like Burnout Paradise. Like it would say,
Oh, yeah.
you need to skid this much between these 2 points, and like you have 6 people, and you all have to try and contribute to this one total score.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like that. It was like something about that kind of multiplayer.
Yeah, well, they must have had a lot of feedback from the first one because I'm assuming I'm not alone in just being massively disappointed.
You can
with
get
it.
off your board.
Yeah, I don't even like that. I felt a bit forced to me, but my brother plays the crap out of it. He loves it.
It makes getting around so much easier, even if you do control.
Yeah,
like
I
a
mean,
tank.
how many times in the first one did you get stuck on a curb trying to go?
Yeah.
Okay, got to turn around, go 10 feet the other direction, take a run up and then jump up it. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, sure.
All right, anything else, Sana?
Nah, just Assassin's Creed 3. Have you guys played that game?
I have.
Yeah.
It is my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
I only
It
just
is-
finished playing Assassin's Creed 2. I got a lot of catching up to. do.
Assassin's Creed 2 is,
Yeah.
I reckon that's one of the best games.
I clocked that one.
Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed
I
2.
know.
The
I
first
remember.
game I got all the achievements.
I gotta say, I liked
I
like the
did
story.
The story, you
I
liked
like
it?
the story for Assassin's Creed 2,
Oh,
but I
really?
actually didn't like the combat mechanic as much as
Because
Assassin's Creed
it
1.
wasn't advanced.
No, well, the thing is, in Assassin's Creed 1, even though there were so many broken bits about the combat mechanic, you still had that stealth ability. Like, I found it really easy to be able to sneak up on guards and take them out quietly.
True.
Whereas in Assassin's Creed 2, somehow they've got eyes in the back of their head. Like, you walk
yeah,
up to
3
them,
has that problem as well.
you walk up to them
Yeah.
and they're just like, hey, what are you doing here? And then you've got to really quickly knife them.
Yeah,
Right? Which,
no,
for a man from Springvale, isn't that big a deal. But it's still, like, it still does break that whole stealth component.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed 3 had some, like, the mechanics how you can just assassinate on the move. That was, like, a great implementation.
I do like that idea because it makes sense
yeah,
as well.
of course.
It's
I
kind
mean,
of
it's an
you know.
assassin.
like yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like the double assassination.
Oh,
as well.
it's
Yeah.
just the best.
But there's one thing with the game that I kind of feel like it's a fantastic stealth game. And when you're sneaking around, it's really easy for them to see you and all that kind of stuff. It's real great fun.
Yeah.
Some of the most
sword
fun.
play is shit though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like some of the most fun I've had in a game this gen is playing Assassin's Creed sneakily.
Yeah.
The second they see you, to me the game just breaks.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it
that's
just-
exactly
my
problem.
It just becomes a stress.
Like at the
not
beginning when
fun.
you're playing with Hatham in Assassin's Creed 3, I like how they uniqued his kills, except for with the hidden blade. That was the same as Connor's.
Yeah,
move.
I noticed that as well. Like before you get the hidden blade, you can still use the hidden blade.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
it's strange. Like apparently they explain it away by saying he already had a dagger. but it's literally the same animation.
And
You
like the
see it
double,
come out of his wrist.
the double counter as well. Like it's meant to teach you that when you get, when you play as Connor, but you can do it beforehand.
Do you, in Assassin's Creed 3, do you have some sort of a gun like you did in Assassin's Creed?
Yeah,
2?
yeah.
and you
There's a
literally have a
wider
gun, like a
range.
musket.
No, but does it actually give you some sort of manual aiming ability? Because that was
No.
one of my big things about Assassin's Creed 2 is that
Right.
you couldn't manually aim, which meant for some of the assassinations, there's a particular section of the game where what you got to do is you've got to assassinate all of these dude's sort of main big followers before you can take on the actual boss himself.
Yeah.
And so that's like 18 assassinations you got to do like straight off the bat that have no story. You just got to go and do it.
Yeah.
And for one of them, the best way to do it, in fact, the easiest way to do it is to sort of just quietly kill all the dudes on the rooftop surrounding the little in a garden, and then you get your pistol and go bang, and you could have taken them out quietly. And even though everybody going, whoa, what the hell? Because nobody can see you because you've killed all the guys on the rooftops, you can make it a clean getaway.
Yeah.
But they force you to go into the terrace and then launch this cutscene of having the captain of the guard come down and fight you, and then it all becomes sword play, thereby defeating
Make
the whole
it-
point of a
yeah.
stealth
Their
game.
thoughts on making it more dramatic, they think that it might be
That
better.
stuff is a lot more prevalent in the third one, but I think
Yeah.
they've learnt their lesson. Like they've said, they've come out of the gate saying, we want this to be a scripted thing.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
has,
They
like,
don't want it
open
to
world
be
elements.
that open world.
Yeah, but they let you have open world elements, and they do
There's
that really
some
well.
decisions I think that you can make, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
The thing
But-
is
but
that
they-
we have some expectations regarding assassination games, which I think Hitman sort of started up quite well. Hitman basically said to you, here is how we think you should kill this guy.
But there's
you can just do it any way you want. If you wanted to, just pull out, spend a couple grand, buy an M16, just go out, kill everybody. We don't care, as
See,
long as you
that's
get the job
in three.
done.
You can do it any way you want, pretty
Right.
much, but there are a lot of scripted stuff,
Yeah.
sequences in that game.
I think
a
the
lot of it.
reason they actually have the guns is they're supposed to be like a last resort anyway. So
Yeah.
you don't want to just
Yeah,
like,
I'd never used mine. I think I used mine
Yeah,
like 3 or
same.
4 times.
I barely use the pistol because of the noise factor.
and
But
that's
don't
why,
you
that's
think-
why it takes
Exactly.
so long to reload as well. Is
Yeah.
because you're not supposed
Yeah,
to just go
that's it.
around shooting everyone.
Well, keeping in mind it is also a musket. The average reload time for a musket, even in the hands of
As
a
well as your
professional,
pistols.
is 90 seconds.
Yeah.
But you think about it though, how many people would complain if you couldn't have a gun? Like,
Yeah.
this
I know,
world is
of
fun.
course.
Oh, it's worse than Assassin's Creed 2 because
Yeah,
Assassin's
God.
Creed 2 had a gun.
See,
Yeah,
but
hitting
even
guns,
if it didn't have guns, my big pet peeve would be it is a historical game, right? Guns did exist during the
Exactly.
American Revolutionary War, right? Much like they do in America today, right? If you couldn't have guns, that would be a game breaker. It's sort of like, come on, I'm pretty sure a trained assassin, if he needed to, could
Yeah.
pick up a rifle and fire. it.
Exactly, yeah. There'd be so many complaints. It's
Yeah.
like, come on, this guy's an assassin, but like, if he has a weapon, it's supposed to allow him not using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's why it would be pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw the concept art of the next game being in China.
No, but feudal Japan is what people have been asking for.
You should
I
see
reckon
the concept.
feudal.
It's
see,
amazing.
Feudal Japan could be pulled off really well. There is such a rich history there,
Ninja?
right?
I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Shuriken
It's all
and shit,
sword
like-
fighting.
Well, see, that's
Even
the thing.
better.
I mean,
Which
I mean,
is
the
perfect.
whole point of Assassin's Creed really is that they've taken some conspiracy theories and just like built on them. I mean, the whole idea that the Templars rule
I
the world.
stopped listening to that
Right.
story about 3 games
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that the reason why you could pull it off in feudal Japan is that you could say that the ninjas, right, are actually a cover for the assassins. It's sort of like, because you could, if you have it not in early feudal Japan, but towards the end of feudal Japan, right as the West is starting to like encroach in, almost have it run at the same time as Assassin's Creed 3 in the same timeline. You could make the ninjas
Yeah.
a cover of the the Templars are starting to get a bit too powerful. The assassins need to hide a bit more behind the shadows,
Yeah.
so they call themselves ninjas in
Yeah.
Japan, almost as a front to.
Well, were they even
The
around at that
assassins.
period? I don't know anything about that time.
Apparently.
They were the last sort of samurais died out towards the end.
there are
of the,
still 2 samurai alive.
Yeah, but I mean-
there's one, and he refuses to train anyone because he sees the teachings as not of a modern world.
Yeah, no. I
Pretty
mean, the
cool.
last of sort of like samurais being in large numbers sort of ended towards, the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th, right around the time when the machine guns started to take
Yeah,
heat.
well, that's pretty.
Because the standard charge of a group of samurai is on horseback charging towards the line. One machine gun, you mow them all down. I mean, it's the same. It took the West until 1914 to learn the same lesson.
Play Shogun Total War for the samurai.
Yeah.
For a,
And
because
because, like-
of what John's talking about.
Like,
It's pretty depressing.
basically, you could have mowed down an entire samurai army with an AK-47 and a few thousand rounds of ammunition. Seriously.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
to turn this away from the history lesson
Yeah.
back to Assassin's Creed 4. That was very interesting, Joe.
I was
It's
thinking.
probably all wrong, by the way.
They've said that the new character is going to be a new character.
Yeah,
and it's
new-
not going to be set in America.
New setting, new
They've
character.
they've
yeah.
said that straight out the gate, and they've
The
also hinted at
director
Brazil
was-
as being a setting as well.
That was the first thing they said once Assassin's Creed 3 was like like once that was finished and stuff. They said Brazil might be the next location, but that was all rumors and stuff. It
I'm
wasn't
pretty sure
said.
they didn't say that Assassin's Creed 3 is done. I think they might go back to Connor.
Oh, no,
sometime,
yeah,
just
no, I can see
they're
that.
Oh, yeah,
on
they
the back
did.
burner for now.
Like
But
I
then
feel
they
like 3
confirmed-
is a big marketing win for them. I think it's the best-selling Assassin's Creed game of the series so far.
Yeah, but
Set
don't
it
you
in America,
think?
they're
Don't you
gonna
think Connor was a bit like he wasn't? I don't know, like he wasn't as lovable
Yeah,
as
I didn't
Ezio, you know?
like him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't. He was kind of
Yeah.
like an ass, man. It was annoying.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah.
that's why it sold so well, because he was really relatable, and for having it set in
Set,
America
yeah.
would be just great for the market over there. I think it would
Yeah,
work
for the
out.
American market, yeah, they would have gone,
There
hell
was a
yeah,
lot of-
America.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of crap for that before release as well. Why are you killing red coats and like what's wrong with blue coats? Why aren't you killing them? It's like
Yeah.
it's this
There's
and that.
a lot of smart stuff in there though. Like I can't remember which character it is. The smart ass British guy that works with you outside of the Animus. What's his name? You know the guy
Yeah, I
I'm
know
talking
you.
about.
Yeah, yeah.
He
The
has
computer
so
guy.
many smart ass comments about it.
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
Like basically saying that the winners write history. So like, if the Redcoats were to have won or lost, whoever won, basically history will see them as the good guys.
Isn't that the same guy who voices Wheatley?
Could easily be.
I'm pretty sure it is.
There's one smart ass British guy.
Yeah,
in the game.
yeah.
In Assassin's Creed 3, right?
yeah, yeah.
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 And slash 2, 1.
Well,
Oh,
that
true.
was an interesting thing. When Ubisoft started releasing trailers for Assassin's Creed 3, the American trailer was quite different to the European trailer.
Which one?
In that, for Assassin's Creed 3, I can't remember which one it is, but there were two slightly different trailers, both showing essentially the same things.
With
You
the
still,
tomahawk.
yeah,
Kills
you-
a bunch of guys. And
yeah,
like,
runs in the field.
where he runs in the field. Now, the European trailer shows you killing both redcoats and bluecoats, right?
Whoa.
It shows you killing American Revolutionary soldiers. The American trailer shows you only killing British soldiers. It doesn't show you killing American revolutionaries.
yeah.
Which, if any American with any sort of understanding of American Revolutionary history understood, though, killing redcoats didn't just mean killing British soldiers. It also meant killing Americans, because not all Americans...
Sympathizers.
Yeah, well, not all Americans were behind the revolution. Some of them still very heavily recognised with England and wanted to fight for Queen and Country,
I learned a
or
lot
King
about
and
that through
Country.
the game actually. Like the
Really, I learned
database
about
thing.
that in a textbook.
Yeah, yeah. Shame. I learned about World War II in school. That's all I cared about. And Vietnam.
Of course you
Yeah.
did. Of course you learned about World War II.
History,
It's the
man.
greatest achievement England's ever had in the last, 80 years?
Ooh,
I think this
but
conversation's rude.
we haven't won a football game in about 8 years. Yet.
The ending of Assassin's Creed 3, people said that if you had an option of saving the world or
I haven't
not.
seen the ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
that-
hang on, spoiler alert.
True. Spoiler.
I haven't
But
played
man, what is it?
I
like-
haven't played Assassin's Creed 3, and I'm a big fan of stories.
Alright, well
just
then.
block your ears or something.
La la la.
I think we have to
I
talk about
had-
the naval stuff though, right?
We do,
Yeah, oh,
definitely
the
we
naval,
do.
man.
Let's talk about the naval stuff.
The
Really
best part.
Amazing.
Such
So
good.
good.
I reckon they need to implement, like maybe if they come back to this time period and for 3 again,
You're
like,
about to
open
say.
world stuff with the boat, because it was amazing, but it felt kind of limited the amount of stuff that you could do. Like it was like do this mission 3 or 4 times because it's so fun.
Yeah.
Why not have more missions that you can do?
I know.
Yeah.
It sucks when it
was
finishes.
so fun though.
It was fun, but I feel like if they put any more of it in, I would have got bored of it.
Like repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they all had
No,
stories
like-
though. It was amazing.
Like just like I did the same couple of missions like 3 or 4 times because I had so much fun with it, and you can do them different ways. Like you can like one of them I basically just circled around the entire group of enemies and just firing inwards the entire time.
Yeah.
Other times I try and ram them down, and
Yeah, so good,
like,
man.
I didn't even get towards the end. Maybe there's more mechanics they introduced, but
It's just beautiful, just the way they made it. Like when you collide, it's not just like
yeah,
you know,
no,
the
it
camera
feels so
looks behind
weighty.
you.
You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
And like hiding when they attack and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
See, like they announced a new DLC. Well, they said they would definitely want to make it. It's called Black Flags, I think.
Like
And
pirates.
yeah, and like it's all about navals and stuff. So that's pretty sick. It needs to be, you know,
I'll be
like they
looking
can't
into
just
that.
end it. Yeah. There's not much info about it. They just said somewhere down the line after like Tyranny of King Washington, they wanna do that.
Well,
so.
if they're in pre-production for the next game, which they probably are, which more likely to be a next-gen game, then they
Yeah,
probably
very
devoting
likely.
a lot of themselves to that.
They said release date sometime between.
Man, Assassin's Creed has been annual for
I
like
know.
5 years now.
Yeah.
Like,
Sadly, it might not come out at the end of this year. It's gonna be like before June next year.
you got to say it's going to come out and launch for the new consoles. You have to say that.
Definitely, it has to.
Speaking of new consoles, that leads us on to one of our news items, I believe.
Are you
Ryan,
gonna
I'll
tell us
take
John
it.
about
doesn't
your
want to talk about what he's been playing.
Oh, what I've been playing? Well, oh, jeez. Well, that's the thing. I haven't really got a lot about what I've been playing. I've been playing Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War
Tell
2.
us about that game you mentioned before, the PS1 game.
Oh, Bushido Blade.
Yeah, Bushido Blade.
Oh, you want me to talk about Bushido Blade? Oh, jeez, have you got to spare 3 hours now? No, Bushido Blade. So, yeah, it's a fighting game set in, funnily enough, well, it's actually set in modern Japan, so to speak. But if you played any part of the game, you wouldn't know that, right? Up until probably the last level which you can't achieve unless you play the game properly. I kid you not, there is a right way and a wrong way to play the game, even though you wouldn't know it.
I like how you can fail games these days.
Fighting in what way though? Like, is it a hack and slash? Is it a
No, it's not a hack and slash. It's a fighter with swords. It's two samurais who fight
Like
each
a
other. and it's
one-on-one Tekken style.
one-on-one Tekken style, but it's
Yeah.
all sword play. So the controls are actually very simple. You've got high strikes, medium strikes, and low strikes. You've also got different stances: high, medium, and low stance. Right, and depending on which stance you're in affects the way your strikes affect you, and also where about those strikes will hit on the body. It is one-hit kills, right? If you hit them in the chest or hit them in the head, they're dead
I
automatically.
think I might have even played that when I was like 12 years old or something.
You probably did.
It was just way too hard. I just
yeah,
couldn't
just
be
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it was, and the other amazing thing was it was made by SquareSoft, right?
Wow.
Same people who
Soft, you say?
SquareSoft, not Enix, not SquareSoft and Enix, just
Square
SquareSoft
Enix.
on their own. It was one of the titles they made on their own before they joined up with Enix to make the rest of the Final Fantasy games.
The last great Square game was Final Fantasy X. I
Yeah.
maintain that.
Oh no, definitely, I completely agree there. But yeah, it is one hit kills. You hit them in the Bushido Blade, one hit kills. Hit them in the head,
Quiet, man.
yeah.
hit them in the chest, they're dead straight off the bat, which can be very easy to do. Like each character has its own storyline, which are all essentially the same anyway. The only difference is the opening cutscene. But
So
the,
is it just kind of like a go to a fight, win, go to the next cutscene, go to the fight.
basically, well, because
Wait.
the whole point of the single player campaign really was to just train you on how the controls work so that you could play multiplayer, right? Which was the same thing: 2 characters on the one screen, 2 controllers. You
That'd
fight.
be the best couch multiplayer.
It
right
is.
there.
It is the best couch multiplayer because a match can last anywhere from 2 seconds to half an hour, right? Depending on
Psyching your opponents out, all that kind of stuff.
but not just that, but because if you hit them in the leg or the arm, it wounds them. It doesn't kill them, but it wounds them, so they lose the ability of that limb, right? So if you take out one of their legs, what they end up they end up getting propped up on one knee, right? And so they can't move as fast.
intense.
Basically, they end up just rolling around on the floor. But that's another part of psyching out your opponent is that you can purposely make your character trip over and lie on the ground, leaving them exposed, and then as the opponent comes in for a strike, you can have your character roll away and then lunge forward.
Huh.
And if you've timed it perfectly, just as they've finished performing their strike and missing, they're then open for a headshot. You just go bang.
So the wounding system is kind of similar to like armor, yeah? Like how if you get shot in the leg, you limping and stuff.
Yeah.
You can't run
If
and
armor
stuff.
was a fighting game.
Yeah, if armor was a fighting game, yeah.
So what is it? What is it like a first person, third person? What is it like?
It's your one-on-one fight.
It's
Tekken
one-on-one
Street.
like
Oh,
Tekken.
so it's- oh,
but
okay.
there is a first-person component to it. You can actually have it played in first-person perspective by landing 2 PS1s together. And it's
Landing together PlayStation.
Has anyone
1.
ever done that?
Yeah.
I remember
I have.
trying to get into
Really?
it on my
Yeah.
PS2.
Wow.
we tried to, but the problem was we had a Japanese version of the game and a Australian version of the game, and the 2 weren't compatible to
Yeah.
land together. But that being said, in playing both the Japanese and the Australian version, there is a distinct difference, not in gameplay but in response time. Now, the Japanese version is NTSC, and the Australian version is PAL, right? And I don't know why it's so, but the NTSC version, the Japanese version, is actually faster in terms of response time. So putting in commands happens a lot faster.
That could easily just be some kind of thing with the formatting. Or when it got
It
transferred.
is-
It is. But then when it comes down to playing against a person,
Yeah.
when it is a bit twitchy, the game, right? You want that response time to be
Yeah.
as quick as possible.
It's all about response.
right.
with games,
But that doesn't mean that it's not as fun. The Australian version isn't as fun. The Australian version is fun in that because you're aware of that response time issue.
Patriotism.
Yeah, you've got to think 2 or 3 steps ahead, right? Because you've got to.
No, like you could make a whole game, and if you played it like that the entire time through, it'd be fine. But
Yeah.
like going from one to the other would be.
Yeah, going
Real
from one to the
mess
other
up.
is a bit of a pain. I agree.
So I'm guessing if you're completely new, you can't button match your way to victory.
No, not at all. No. If you button mash, your character just pretty much freezes up because because the movements are so slow and concise. So because obviously going from having your sword up in the air and then swinging it down across your body, that takes time.
Yeah.
But it's not like in Super Street Fighter 4 or something where the movement happens instantly, right? You've got the whole animation takes maybe a second, and that is part of the challenge in that while that animation is happening, that gives your opponent time to dodge or to counter or in some way.
See, the AI to me would be really hard to make in a game like this because they'd always know what you were going to do next, kind of thing. Like whenever you press it, they know what to do straight away.
Not necessarily. The thing
You
is,
say that same about any game.
Yeah, no, yeah.
yeah, the AI
But it's because
is
it's so simplified. Like it's down to
Yeah.
those three choices.
Mm.
Like, are they going to do it or are they going to not? You know.
okay. Well, when I said before about playing the game properly, there's two ways you can play the game. You can play the game as a pure fighter in you use any tactics you can to win the game, or you play in the way of the Bushido, they call it, which means fighting with honor. So that means waiting for the allowing your opponent to bow and say, right, let's ready to fight, not
So you
tripping.
can just attack them if they bow right at the start.
Pretty much.
Wow.
The thing is that there's no 3-2-1 fight at the start of the game. Basically, as soon as the screen appears, you're off, right? And so fighting in the way of the Bushido is not tripping them over, not throwing sand in their face, not getting your little hidden dagger
But
and
those
throwing it at
mechanics
them.
are there, though.
But those mechanics are there. You
Yeah.
can just do that.
Is
So
it like a
bound-
ranking system for like say you didn't throw sand, you get paid?
No, you don't see any of that.
PlayStation
No, no.
1 here, man. PlayStation 1.
We're talking PlayStation 1. It's really dead simple. But you do know if you have been following the way of the Bushido, though, because if you do, you get to the last level, which is a bonus level where you're up on a helipad, up on a big tall tower, and you're facing off against the last opponent who has a gun,
Of course.
who is a complete pain, right? But he can be defeated,
Are you
right?
supposed to like block his bullets with his sword? or
No,
something?
not like that. What you're really supposed to do is sort of just dodge and get out of the way, and lots of rolls and jumps.
Get
But
behind him, kind of thing.
yeah, but really the best way to defeat him is to do a straight-on charge, and that's to just bring your sword forward because he's got a gun, he hasn't got a sword or anything, he can't deflect any attacks. So if you can just run in straight forward as quickly as possible, you'll defeat him. But you've got to be quick about it because he's got a gun and bullets travel faster than people.
Yeah.
Alright, is that all for
You
Bushido
didn't, you
Blade?
didn't tell us,
Pretty-
man.
Pretty much.
So, anything else before I completely take over?
No. I mean, besides, I really like Dawn of War 2 as well, but that's it.
Yeah, I don't think. No.
Don't think anybody cares.
That's Damien's territory
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
Jane was here.
Yeah.
If only.
Alright,
Oh.
so in typical Ryan fashion, I'm playing about like 8 or 9 games at the same time. But we've already touched on Dota.
Tell us more about the way you play it. Like expand on it.
Do we need more Dota?
Oh yeah, no shit. We talked for like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
All right, no worries.
That's for another time. We'll make a Dota cast, like
Yeah.
Dota centric.
Give me another couple of weeks and
Yeah,
I'll
alright.
be in there.
We'll make the theme song that song that dude wrote about Dota.
No,
Dota.
Dota.
Yeah, that guy.
Anyway, but a couple of days ago, I actually finished Mass Effect 3 for the first time.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Let me tell you, that game is really, really good. Like,
Oh yeah.
Please agree with me that the fucking mass hysteria about the ending was unfounded.
I agree.
I had no problems with the ending. It was more about just stuff they did in the middle. See,
Okay.
Hang on, before we continue on, let me just say that this is a spoiler alert. So anybody listening who hasn't played the ending of Mass Effect 3, I suggest you pause this right now, go home, play
Go
the
and
ending.
play it,
Mass
man.
Go
Effect
play
1,
Mass Effect 3.
Then play Mass Effect 2, then play Mass Effect 1 on Insanity, and then go back to Mass Effect 2. You can't beat it on Insanity because it's too hard. So go back to Mass Effect 1, play again, and then go back to Mass Effect 3, because that's what I did.
Play Mass Effect 2 a couple extra times in the middle
Yeah.
of
Or you could do what just everybody else did, like me, and just play Mass Effect 1, and then import your character into Mass Effect 2, play Mass Effect 2, and then import your character into Mass Effect 3, and then play
it.
Mass
I think
Effect
that
3.
importing
I
of
used-
character needs to happen a lot more in games.
I,
these days.
I agree. That's what so I did that all the way from Mass Effect 1. I just imported my character
I
all
How
the
did
way
does-
through.
how does that work?
But I got
Yeah.
locked into PC though because I played the first one on PC and
Ah,
then it
yeah.
was like that was
Okay.
it from then
No,
on.
I had it on the Xbox
I
the
feel
whole
like
way.
Origin.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of what is importing
So
your
like
character do?
the whole game basically is based around like choice.
Yeah.
So like you can
Yeah.
be a maverick. What was it? Maverick or a renegade? A paragon or a renegade. So
Yeah.
good guy, bad guy.
Okay.
Maverick Renegade. Yeah, no, you basically have all these choices to do with like all these different species that you meet and like ways you can handle situations. You can be a dick or a saint, basically.
Yeah.
And all that stuff
Or,
carries over.
Or a
to
little of
weird,
both.
like in between.
I was
Yeah.
in between that. Like, I hate when people see a duelist, like what would you call it? A system, like the good and evil system.
Morality system.
Yeah,
And
morality
everyone
system.
just goes for good.
Yeah,
or
they'll
evil.
pick one and then just do that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd much rather like role play a little bit and like not just like turn that into a I'm gonna
I
pick
try
the
to
blue one
do
every
like
time.
what I would do in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In space, like
Yeah.
That's
And
but
you
that's
learn
that's
that
what
you're
I
a
do.
dick,
No, I
like-
would-
Yeah, but no, but everything of mine's like mostly Paragon.
Yeah,
like the only time
I'm the same.
my only renegade points is you guys both played too. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the reporter?
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
punch her in the face first. I'm like, first round's
I
like,
told
I see this
Showbot-
trick, I'm like, yeah.
I told Showbot to get fucked as well. I couldn't deal with that.
I didn't.
I
'cause
didn't know.
I wanted her points towards my
Yeah, her war asset becomes really
Yeah.
important
No,
later on in the
but
game.
like the asset, the 3/4 way through the game, I was ready to put the end of the game. Like if you want 100 or get even
Were you
close
playing
to-
that? Were you playing multiplayer though as well?
I played a bit, yeah,
Okay,
just for the assets.
because that is one of my pet peeves about Mass Effect 3 is that even though when they announced that they were going to have a multiplayer, I couldn't have cared less. I went, yeah, that makes sense.
People were pissed.
Right, yeah,
about
even
that.
though I wasn't one of those BioWare fanboys who just went, oh my god, Mass Effect multiplayer, oh my god. Right, no, I wasn't
You-
like that.
They did what?
For me, it was multiplayer went, yeah, whatever. And they said, oh, it's not going to have any effect on the single player. And I went, well, yeah, as it should. But the thing is that it does, is that
It has a massive.
it has a
difference.
Well,
it
you
makes a
can.
huge
You can
difference.
finish the game.
You can
No,
finish
it
the
is-
game, but you can't finish the game well.
It cuts
Really?
off, like
Yeah.
you know your war assets.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you don't play multiplayer, it cuts off half of them. You don't have them.
Yeah,
But
no,
can
your
you
points
get
are halved.
Can
Everything
you
is
get
worth
enough
half.
to like say you need 6,000 to get to the top. Can you get 12,000 through the game? So you
Not
don't-
unless you play multiplayer.
No, say if you
No, I
earn
know what you're
12,000 and then you only got 50% of it, and that still took you up to max. Is that possible?
I don't think it's possible.
No.
No, I
The-
think
you
need
can
at least-
achieve the minimum though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
You need
yeah,
at
of
least-
course.
You need to at least play like an hour or two or more.
Yeah, I did like
the
3 or
best
4
end.
rounds.
That's it. Yeah, you don't need to play a hell of a lot of multiplayer. You just like I only played probably 3 hours of it, and
Not
that
it's
was
bad multiplayer.
no, it wasn't. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. What I didn't like though was the pay to win system they'd put into it.
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about here, for those who don't know, is that with your you don't use your character from single player in multiplayer. You can't play as Shepard. You have a new character, and it's essentially like you essentially roll a new character like you do in like Dungeons and Dragons or something. And then in the way you get weapons, new armor or like armor bonuses or weapon bonuses.
Don't you
so
unlock the abilities as well, like the flame one and all that kind of stuff?
yeah,
That's through level.
so
leveling, though.
yeah, so
Yeah,
what I'm talking
okay.
about is unlocking abilities such as like overload, cryo shot, flame shot, things. Incinerate, that's the word I was looking for. So incinerate, cryo shot, disruptor ammo. The way you unlock all of that is by buying packs. Now you can buy those packs with experience points that you accrue through playing matches, and you can get the basic kit, which gives you basic armor, basic weapons, basic abilities, quite cheap. And you can by the end of your first game, you should be able to buy one. And then once you start really getting into it and accruing more and more points, and also if you play on harder difficulty levels, you will be able to buy the next one up, the next pack up. But to buy the one after that, unless you're playing it super hardcore, like you're a Call of Duty player, you're just playing that 8 hours a day, you're not even playing the single player, right? You can't get that with experience points. However, BioWare has quite conveniently offered you an alternative by buying the packs.
Now, be careful there, because I wouldn't put the blame on BioWare. That's a very EA system. In
That's
FIFA,
true,
In
that's
FIFA
true.
13, they have a very,
Okay,
very similar system.
so
I would hazard a guess that it's more like 90% EA because
Probably,
they did
yeah.
the whole thing where they only sell games now that have online components.
yeah. Well, that's
Season pass,
so
right?
that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Buy the
EA
game
have
twice.
quite conveniently offered you the ability to purchase those high level packs with real world money. Now I have the Xbox version of the game, so it offered it to me in Microsoft points. Now those Microsoft points weren't very dear. It's not like I was going to have to remortgage my house or something to buy these packs. But that being
It
said,
subverts the game.
it does subvert the game, right? And that being said, I mean, even though it's only $1 here and $1 there, all those dollars do add up. And if you want to buy 5 packs, that's $5.
Oh,
Well,
honestly,
if you
for
want to
me,
buy one pack, you need to buy 1,600 Microsoft points.
That's
$30,
true.
so-
That's
that's
yeah.
the top
Thank
level
you,
one.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Fucking Microsoft points.
Yeah, it's
But honestly, for me, like, it's not as much about the money that it costs. It's way more about, like, if this game has been designed specifically to have this buying of credits, then it's almost designed, like, that subverts the game to me. Like, it ruins the in-game economy. to have that mechanic built into it. Like I don't know where I heard it, but I think you might have heard it as well, right? They included it in Dead Space as well. A very similar system where you can buy
Oh,
credits.
yeah. The little robot thing.
Yeah,
or
yeah. Like, I haven't played it myself, but
Yeah.
like hearing people talk about it sounds like a massive just fuck you to the people that want to play that without spending the extra money.
Once again, thank you, EA.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Dead Space. Like, come on, that is a single player horror game. Who
Well-
needs a credit system?
Action. Action
Oh.
games.
To be fair, what does annoy me about EA as well is that in order to play the multiplayer at all, you need to buy an online pass, which is $5
No,
straight out the gate.
honestly, that's one bit that I can agree with. Like, if you buy a second-hand game and
No.
you just want to pay to have the online part of it, that's fine.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
if you get new, they always give you the online pass.
yeah, but the thing is that if you bought it on the Xbox like I did, you're already paying for the ability for the privilege to play online. So the fact that you're asking me to put more money in than I already
No, but
am,
did you
But
buy it
that's
that's
the thing,
quite
you get it
annoying.
for free
Yeah, if you buy it new, you get
buy
it for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
idea. Like, it's
Ah,
kind of
okay.
a way to get around the whole used game problem. Like, if people are going to buy it second-hand, then they have to give you.
Yeah,
the
but then
money.
again, even if they're buying it second hand, their Xbox, they're still paying for their Xbox Live account. I mean,
Yeah, but the
so
idea
you're already
is that
putting money
you're,
into the
you're
online
not putting any
component
money
anyway.
into the publisher, and they're the ones who have to run the
Yeah.
servers and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's-
like
yeah.
I'm not too happy with the whole trend of like season passes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're going to buy a used game, I think it's okay to ask for a few extra bucks to play just to
Yeah.
play online. You play
That's
single
true.
player. Like,
Yeah. Well, see, I got the online pass for free because even though I bought this was an amazing story. I couldn't believe this. I went into EA Games and I went in there just after
EA
Christmas.
games.
EB Games.
it'll
But
be
it'll
that
probably-
soon,
it'll-
like,
you know what,
seriously.
it'll
To get
be-
in, you need to see some
There'll be
You know
like
what,
an
though?
Xbox
I was-
shop and a Steam
Yeah.
shop and a PS3 shop. Like,
Well, I mean, all things being said, with the way EA is going, they'll probably will have a retail store soon. But that's another story. Anyway, so
Nintendo got one.
So I walked into EB, right, and I went in there just after Christmas, so they had all their post Boxing Day sales and things like that. And I went in there and I wanted to buy Mass Effect 3. So I pulled it off the shelf, just a normal copy of Mass Effect 3. Went up to the counter and said, "I'll take this, please." He goes, "Okay." And he goes into the back to get it for me. He comes out and he says, "Oh, I've got that, but I've also got the Omniblade edition, brand new. Nobody ever picked it up from the store, and it was the same price. It was $47." So I got the full Omniblade edition with the metal case, the metal tin, the little blow up Omniblade thing.
Is it
Right.
is it a balloon?
It's it is. It's a little plastic balloon you can blow up like you can a kid's swimming pool, and you can put it on your wrist. Although my wrist and arm are just too huge to properly have the thing on. But it is fun. The novelty wears off after like 40 seconds.
I reckon
After
it'll
you've
be
blown it
like-
up and put it on and gone, "Ha, look at me, I'm so cool."
As long
You
as-
then basically put it back in the box and
Imagine
never
you
look at it
spent
again.
$300 on that and you're
I
like,
know.
oh man.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I want to talk about. If anybody at EA is listening, send me my damn code. I want my carbine rifle. Right
Yeah.
on the box, it says you get an in-game weapon, which I don't have because no code came with it in the box, even though I bought it brand new.
I
Right?
got the most cool weapon. I played the Dragon Age 2 demo like a year before, and I completely
Yep.
forgot about it. But because it figured that out through Origin or whatever,
Yeah.
it gave me this nuts-ass weapon that was basically like a spinning disc launcher.
Nice.
Like you fire the spinning like razor-edge disc into the enemy, and it stays in
in
their
Dragon
chest.
Rage.
No,
Dragon Age.
from playing Dragon Age, they
Oh,
give you
right.
this,
I
and
was
they
gonna
also
say, it
give you
looks like
some
Hulk.
this crazy like blood armor as well. It looks like some kind of weird.
Yeah.
high
Well, they
fantasy
did in
style
Mass
thing.
Effect 3. If you played the Kingdoms of Amalur demo, you got a fancy
Oh no, that's
armor.
what I'm talking about. It
Oh,
wasn't
that's the
Dragon
one
Age,
you're
it was
talking about.
Amalur, yeah.
Okay, no, it's not razor blade gun that fires. It's a carbine rifle with exploding shells. Which reminds
Maybe
me,
I got
could you log
two
into
then.
my Origin account and play the Kingdoms of Amalur demo? Because I really want that gun. I don't care about the ammo. I want the gun. Because in Saints Row 3, exploding rounds were like the best thing ever, and I want the same ability in Mass Effect 3.
Play Amalur, man. That demo's the demo shows you.
No, but my computer's not good enough.
Oh right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, log into my Origin account and play it on your computer.
Would it still work?
Yeah, because
sure.
it runs through
Oh,
Origin.
I
As long as
think-
he logs into my
Yeah,
I
account.
think you get the bonus from having done it before. the game
Yeah, there
came
would
out.
have been a date where
It's
it
like
said
a,
you played it before now.
It's like a loyalty thing or whatever.
Sorry, John.
EA.
And then
I'll give you my Origin account so you can play with the gun if you like.
No,
I'm done with
but
that
no,
game.
because my Origin account's already linked to my Xbox account.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Fucking EA.
Enough of that.
I shouldn't say that because we
I
like
just wanted to say
EA.
about
Send
Mass
us games.
Effect.
Do you want to like pause it?
No. I just wanted to say about Mass Effect is that I felt that in the middle of it they kind of like tied everything together so nicely. Like you deal with the Genophage, you deal with the Quarian / Geth.
Didn't it feel like you were kind of just going through a checklist though? You kind of felt
Yeah,
like
no,
kind
yeah,
of built
exactly. Like you got all these problems from 1 and 2 that you never solved, and it just went tick 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 tick.
Yeah.
All right, go die.
kind of shit, right? And the Rachni as well, such a fucking cop out. Like
Oh, the Rachni,
the
yeah,
biggest
that's
decision you make in the first game boils down to absolutely nothing.
yeah.
Like
Wait, were they? Because I saved them. Did you?
I
kill
saved them as well.
I saved him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, apparently if you kill them, you still have to fight the Rachni
You do.
enemies.
You
But
do.
they're
There's a
just like
side.
AI or whatever.
There's a side quest where the Rachni start appearing, and I can't remember how they explain it away. But
It's
effectively,
just some bullshit off the cuff. Apparently, it's just like, oh yeah, no, they're robots.
yeah.
Whatever. Like,
But the
yeah.
thing is that I think the reason being is that they brought the Rachni back is because the Rachni, even if I saved them, so with the Rachni, the second time you can choose to save or destroy them again. You get that choice again, and I chose to save them the second time in Mass Effect 3. And then what you get,
the points from it.
you get the Rachni as a war asset. You get their scientists because even though they're a bunch of bugs that run through a collective consciousness, they're a pretty smart bunch of bugs. And so, they got crap loads of hands, and
I
so
mean,
they're
if you're
pretty
going
good
to
at
say
fixing
that
stuff.
decision in the first game boils down to having extra war assets, then I'm saying
Yeah.
do better. Like I love that game, but that specific part just pissed me off.
Yeah, it did. Well, another thing that annoyed me though is unfortunately in the second game when you had to sacrifice a character, I sacrificed Legion, right? Because
No way.
yeah,
Le-
Legion appears in the last 15 minutes of the game. I'd already developed a relationship with every other
No,
character.
I had Legion for like half the game.
I had Legion for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I only got Legion towards the end of the game.
He's so cool.
What the hell was I
He's-
doing? What the hell did I do
Sano,
wrong? Then?
like to basically like you probably just all this is
Yeah,
going
he's
straight
like,
over your
what?
head. But, like basically like one of the main themes of this game is like the idea of AI rising to sentience.
Yeah.
It's such a standard sci-fi thing, but they do it really really well. Like you encounter races that are completely AI, but they've risen to be basically their own species,
Yeah.
and you get one member of this what are they called, Geth
Yeah.
species.
Yeah, they're called the Geth.
They start out as enemies in the first game, but then they turn out to have their own like total massive backstory, and there's this huge like
Yeah.
interweaving plot line.
Yeah,
that you learn about.
yeah.
It's great. And then but you get one of these Geths as a member on your ship, and you can talk to him one on one, and he basically represents his whole hive mind's mentality, and it's just really really fascinating thing. I would recommend playing that game just to
Mass
get-
Effect 3, right?
Well, all of them.
All of
Okay.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to
buy
play.
the trilogy now. That's what I got.
Yeah, you can buy the whole trilogy, and I really like that idea. Definitely go out there and pick up
Yeah?
the trilogy. Yeah, definitely.
Is it like the decision making in the game? Does it affect the ending?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
big time.
well,
Yeah.
Don't
No,
ask-
it does.
Don't ask that question, man.
Yeah.
Like there was such a massive fucking
Yeah.
outcry about that.
Wait,
Yeah.
but is it like the ending is the same thing? It's just
Your
it's
decisions in
different?
Mass Effect 1 will carry all the way to 3.
Yeah.
Really?
And they'll
Yeah.
make
Oh, yeah.
the whole story like, well, not
Because it
completely
depends.
Really?
Because the decisions you make in Mass Effect 1 can affect which characters will appear in Mass Effect 3,
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Some
So,
people can die and then they're dead.
and
so
then they're dead
what
forever.
is it? An account or something? How does it
Oh,
work?
you just transfer your save file.
Yeah.
over.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And it
So you
doesn't-
play it all on Xbox, and in Mass Effect 2 you say import Mass Effect 1, and it'll like go
Doesn't
through your
work.
hard drive,
Ah,
find
that's
everything that's
so
in there.
it's like huge. It's pretty much like Destiny. It's like over a few years.
In a way, like it's definitely the game that has done this the best AAA game, like high
Oh,
level
yeah.
game that has done this.
It's actually the
thing.
first one that I've heard that does something like that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
and it's
it
not
do- and it
perfect.
does it really well.
Yeah.
Like we've been mentioning here, we sound so entitled about like complaining about the Rachni and stuff because they've done everything so.
Oh no,
well.
no! Compared to some Bioware fanboys, we sound nothing like
Yeah, no
entitled.
shit. I've had
We-
hour-long
we sound
conversations with
reasonable.
people, like people that are saying, "I deserve the ending that I want," and I'm like, "Is that not the the rights of the developers to come
Yeah.
up with that kind of?"
Still haven't played the extended ending.
Neither have I. I don't want to. Like, I've
No,
had my-
I haven't either. But that's honestly for me because the end of Mass Effect 3, like I can see why people did get so angry because you've got a character. If you were doing it like me or like us and we were playing since Mass Effect 1, you have put so much time, so much energy into this character to only see this character go the way they go. It is quite an emotionally draining scene. Like for me, at the end of it, I just went to bed. I just went, nah, I
Yeah.
can't,
Well, it
I
was
can't
not-
deal with life
it was
after
not-
I
this.
already.
I'll
Don't
let
spoil it, yeah.
Release Mass Effect games every 2 years where you always play as Shepard.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
never die.
That's if it was up to
Yeah.
EA. I think Bioware were just trying to like free themselves from those shackles.
See, I'd heard all
even
this
though,
stuff.
even though they're now telling you to keep your Mass Effect 3 save file.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. People got really pissed off because at the end of Mass Effect 3 they went, right, well we're done with that. Deleted the save file to make
It'll
room
be
on the
Mass
hard
Effect
drive.
3 colon some other shit. Like,
and now they're saying keep your Mass Effect 3
maybe
save
it'll just
file
be
because
some,
something
like,
else might
insignificant
happen.
Stuff. Just
They
some
did
small
actually
stuff
say
in the
that they.
universe.
Well, I'm not actually sure if they did, but there's just rumors saying that they're making games that not Shepard centric. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Well,
not going to put
But
down that
even
license.
that,
No
see, but they
way,
could
like-
make it Shepard centric because I saw the original ending, and even with the original ending, right, it still is open for a Mass Effect 4.
depends what you did.
Oh yeah, that's
How
true.
can they possibly make a new game in that universe? They'd have to do a prequel because there's no way you could address everything that everybody does
Plays
without.
Legion, plays Legion,
Yeah.
plays Legion.
Sure, true. I agree
Well,
with
see,
that.
that's the thing, yeah, because it is such a huge universe. Like, you don't even have to play as humans at all. You could
No, but think about it.
you could
depending
play
on-
as the Krogan and go through the Genophage. You could
But-
play as the Turians and oh no, you could go through as the humans and be in the First Contact War.
Wait,
you
it's
Oh,
could
prequel wise.
Yeah, prequel-wise,
Prequel wise,
yeah.
hell yeah. Sequel, no.
Yeah.
Like, think about the stuff with the gates. Like, depending on your choice, the mass relays.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you could have two different like the game that. Would
I don't think
be
it.
the same.
I don't think it really mattered with which choice you made. I thought don't all the mass relays get destroyed anyway? Doesn't really
Did
matter.
No.
you choose the control or
always.
destroy?
Oh, I well see because I'd spent the entire game trying to blow up the Reapers and I just went, well, I haven't come this far to not destroy it. Screw you, man.
So that's what I did as well. Did you control or destroy it?
I destroyed it, but as well the description.
You don't even
says-
have to control them or destroy them. You could become part of them. You could,
Yeah, I
you could
really
become
wanted that
one
one
with
as
them.
well. I really wanted that, but the.
Did you guys
The
kill the
thing
elusive
says-
man? That's another thing.
Yeah.
I shot that
I
part.
did straight
Don't get me
away.
wrong. I love Martin Sheen as an actor, and by God, if they made
Really?
a mass, yeah, Martin
Yeah,
Sheen's
Martin
an
Sheen's
awesome
awesome.
actor.
Alright,
Have you
alright.
not seen Apocalypse Now?
I have, yes.
Yeah,
Is that Martin
that's
Sheen?
Martin Sheen.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah, dude, he's an awesome
I'm
actor.
thinking of Alec Baldwin when you say Martin Sheen.
No. Martin Sheen, awesome actor, but by God, was it satisfying to put bullets in his belly?
Oh man, that scene with what's his name, the dude who you make him the
You're
admiral.
not being very
You can make him the admiral when you sat there.
Oh,
After you,
Oh,
Anderson.
Admiral
yeah,
Anderson.
That scene with
Anderson.
Anderson, to me, that was the end of the game. That was so
Yeah.
amazing. That scene there where you
Yeah.
sat with him talking and like he dies and it's just.
I reckon they should have
Just
ended the game
intense.
right there. I
Yeah,
don't think
you
they
know?
should have given you that last choice. I
But,
reckon
but people
end it
will
right
be
there.
pissed off. No, you've built up this amazing world, galaxy, and this amazing game. However you end it, people are going to be pissed off.
There
Yeah.
would be riots if they did like end it at Anderson.
Yeah.
They'd be like,
No,
"Oh,
no, no.
I'd
But
heard
see,
all
what
that
they could have
stuff.
done is ended it at Anderson, and then you just push the button, and then the Crucible fires.
Yeah.
Right? They wouldn't. You didn't like. The reason they have this little kid saying who was in your nightmares, right? You watch him die and all this rubbish, and they have him saying, "Oh, you have to make this choice." They didn't need that at all.
Have you heard the fan-made interpretation of it?
I have not.
Oh, there's this whole like basically it's this YouTube video you can watch. It's about 5 minutes long.
Oh wait, is this the like what they call the what's it called?
It has a name.
Indoctrination
Theory. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
actually
really.
have
It
watched
sounds fucking. I want to believe that. I want to think that the developers did that, but
Indoctrinate. Oh, where Shepard's indoctrinated.
yeah, from the
that.
start.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does actually.
All right. Well, we've been going on a bit long.
We have.
I reckon we're gonna take a little break. And we'll
Yeah,
be
I
back
think we
soon.
should. Yeah, we'll see you after the jump.
Do, 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 do.
All right, welcome back. We had like a hour-long discussion off the microphones about Mass Effect, but now we're back. All right, so now that we've done with what we've been playing, finally, we should probably get into what's been happening.
Finally, man, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Talk about.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, we'll go to the news now. Okay.
The news.
That's how.
That's
that is
actually
how-
good. The news.
Yeah.
Woo.
All right. So first is one of the most major things that happened in the last few weeks. All the hype about the Sony conference happening on the 20th, which
Future of PlayStation.
at time of recording it's the 18th, so it's 2.5 days
2
away.
days. It's on the 20th in America. It's going to be held in New York.
But when are we going to be able to?
Twen-
in
21st.
Australia, it'll be the 21st at about
Yeah, definitely 21st.
7 to about 10 a.m. in the morning, I think. Maybe about 10 or 11 actually.
What day is the 21st? That's like a Saturday, yeah? Friday? No,
If it's
the
Saturday, we're
18th.
watching it in the work. in the
Yeah,
morning.
definitely. But nah, it's 18th today, so it'll be on Thursday or something. Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, no, midweek.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah,
How many
Wednesday.
days are in the week again?
And then for
Yeah.
us, it'll be Thursday, because
30 days of
21st.
September, June, and November.
Back to preschool here.
All right, so what I wanted to talk about is kind of our predictions of what's actually going to be happening there. So,
Well, don't we want to talk a little bit more about what's been shown up to this point?
well, it
Definitely.
hasn't officially been.
Yeah,
The
it's
controller-
leaked.
the
Leaked
controller is
controllers,
pretty-
yeah.
That's not official though.
But like,
Looks pretty
sources.
bad.
But they
pretty
will have to talk
confident.
about it at the Sony conference. They're gonna have to put those rumors to
They
bed.
have to address
And
it.
if they don't do it there, they will do it at E E3.
well, if they're supposedly announcing the console, they'd be doing it anyway.
See,
Oh,
they've
well, there
never
you go.
actually said that. They
Yeah.
haven't said that. All they've said is the future of PlayStation, and they've let everyone else come up with all this stuff
Yeah, it,
themselves.
it could be like another Bungie Destiny thing. It's just
I
like a
imagine
4-minute
it's
video.
just like, this is the new PlayStation move.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming,
It's
guys.
just an obituary. It's like, oh, sorry, Microsoft is taking too much of our market share. We're not a company.
The future of
Yeah.
PlayStation is
Yeah.
dead.
Just an obituary.
I think we can safely say I don't think Sony's going to announce that they're closing because they basically own Japan in market share.
And Europe as well. They're way
And
bigger
Europe.
than Xbox in
They're
Europe.
huge in Europe as well. Yeah. So Microsoft really, even though Microsoft have good market penetration in both Europe and America, they have next to none in Japan.
Penetrate
And
that
that's
market.
it's an economics term, you
Milk.
dirty-minded fool. Right? I'm only talking the Queen's tongue here, and I thought you of all people would respect that.
No way, man. I left that country for a reason.
He's a true Aussie in a couple of...
I am. I got my citizenship test in a week's time, next Monday.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's good,
PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation's
Yeah.
cool as well.
Alright, so there actually has been a few leaks of even the new Microsoft console. Bit about the specs. I don't know how technically minded you guys all are, but
I don't think the graphics are really the most important thing with this next gen, really. I mean, you look at Wii U and they've not hit that
yeah,
high
but
bar.
how well has Wii U been doing?
That's what I'm talking about. Like Wii U's set a pretty low bar, and I don't think many people are happy with that. If we get I don't think we need to be pushing towards 4K and super 3D stuff like that. I think if they're 3D capable, and if they're Blu-ray quality, decent Blu-ray quality, and they have the power for the developers to weed their way into them and get better and better as they go on, the same way we did with this
Yeah,
generation,
yeah.
that should be enough for everyone. We don't want to just see another 360 level console. We honestly, and then I don't remember the exact graphics cards and stuff, but they have released what's going to be in them.
Yeah, and we definitely don't want a crap release like when it first comes out. We don't want the cheapest version of the console. We want a good quality of it to come out.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
to be fair, Nintendo were never really fighting the graphics war. Nintendo, when they brought out the Wii, specifically, I'm talking the first Wii here,
With
and
your
this.
RGB cable.
No,
Oh, man.
but this also transfers onto the Wii U. Is that the whole point of both consoles wasn't for a graphically intensive unit
course.
meant for frat boys. It was a family unit, right? And the whole point of having a lower standard of graphics was because cartoons don't require HD graphics.
Even the Super Nintendo and
Exactly.
stuff look like that.
Super Nintendo was the same thing, yeah.
At the time, like a dream.
I think the only time when Nintendo ever really led the way in graphics was with the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And
You
that was
can't
it.
say that Mario Galaxy wouldn't have looked better if it was in HD.
No, I'm saying
The
it
engine
would, but
be able to-
I agree. I think
Up it.
Mario Galaxy would have looked better in HD. But what I'm saying is that the average 5-year-old, who's the key demographic here, wouldn't care.
Of course. And that's the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole
But look
point.
where that's gone.
Yeah, and that's why Nintendo has just left that fight to Sony and Microsoft, and they've just said, if you want a family unit and you want to play a game with your children, buy our product, right? If you want graphically intensive, you want something to show off to your college buddies,
Yeah.
buy a PS3 or buy an Xbox 360.
But that kind of comes into this conference. Like Sony they're basically making their first foray into the market for just promoting these new consoles. How are they going to develop their image? Are they going to be the gamer console again, or are they going to try and do this whole "we are the living room" thing? that
Yeah,
Xbox
like
does?
Well, that's the
Xbox,
thing
yeah.
with the towards more recently with the PlayStation 3, they've started to move towards more of a family unit.
They've
Right,
been
with
saying
the
they're gonna
play.
do
Well,
that.
the thing
Like-
with the playbook, I think is sort of the
the
real
Wonder
big,
Book.
Yeah.
the Wonder Book, right? Yeah, which
Like,
on
Wonder Book, man.
the Wonder Book. I don't know what the hell they call it, but the little book thing that they've put with the PlayStation
But,
Move.
Again, this is something I heard somewhere else, but I feel like I have to say it. The Wonder Book directed almost entirely at children with their parents. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But up until maybe a year ago, PlayStation 3 has been primarily marketed towards people like us,
Yeah.
male 18 to 25 or whatever. So the people that they're marketing it towards, these kids and their families, don't usually have PS3s already. They're expecting people to buy a PS3, buy a Move, buy a Wonder Book on top of that, which costs you another $300.
Yeah.
It's just a complete miss. I don't
But-
understand what they're doing. With
Well,
that.
see, the thing is though, I think it's more of a subversive reason. I think what they're saying is that what they're trying to do is trying to convince kids that the PlayStation 3 is a wonderful product and get them to buy it. And so the parents do buy it for the kids, and then the parents discover that it's more than just a gaming console,
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
also a Blu-ray player, it's also a video player. You can also use it to surf the internet.
It has Netflix
It-
and everything.
It has Netflix, it,
does,
has all
yeah.
of that. Well, it doesn't have I don't think it has
No, in
Netflix
Australia
here.
it
Not
doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because but the point being though is that they're using the children to show parents the PlayStation 3 and get them interested in actually looking at the
Well, that's what they
PlayStation
wanted
3 at
at
all.
the beginning. They wanted it to be like the same as what PlayStation 2 was, the
Yeah.
DVD player essentially. They wanted it to be a Blu-ray player.
But then again, they released it at $1,000.
Yeah,
starting price.
That was
Yeah,
that
but-
was
but
But
that
then
was
again, that
the
was still the cheapest Blu-ray player you could get.
Exactly.
And plus it was the best one as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
who wanted that at that time?
But-
I mean,
but,
$1,000.
yeah.
In terms of marketing, they'd want to make the target audience adults and gamers.
as
'cause,
broad
like,
as they can.
yeah,
they
so
want it
like
broad.
if they introduced it like the Xbox
But the
as
problem
a
is-
multimedia.
Problem is, will that be too much for them? Like Xbox is that already.
Yeah.
Like it's already done that.
And they're just taking it to the next level now.
Yeah, well, Xbox.
But Xbox have never made that their focus. Xbox
Yeah,
have
yeah,
said
no,
we
they
are no. They've
With
said
Kinect.
we are a
Right.
gaming unit. Right. This is the Kinect, which is a peripheral for a gaming unit.
I don't know about
Right.
that.
And then on top of that, they've said, oh, and we also do all this other stuff. So hey, check this out. You can also have. They've only started moving in towards the living room sort of aspect of the Xbox once they started pushing Windows 8, and once they started pushing a Microsoft environment, a Microsoft home theater environment as a way of competing with Apple's home theater environment.
Their last two dashboard updates were like completely focused about getting
Kinect.
like
Yeah, you've got to like
No,
search for the games on the
yeah,
dashboard.
it's
Fourth
all
or
about the
fifth tab
video
along.
content now. Like, did you see like ads for TV shows? You see ads for like movies.
Yeah.
It's not as
A
big
lot
in
of ads and
Australia.
stuff.
It's really big in America and England.
Yeah.
But here, I've got Foxtel on my Xbox now. I've watched IGN videos on my Xbox. Like, they really want to push for that.
Exactly. Like, think about how convenient. Yeah, it's
Watch
like really
Wonderworld
convenient.
videos on your.
Wonderworld.
Sorry, whatever shit is.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like it's that's the interesting thing for me, is how are they gonna push themselves and how they're gonna sell themselves? Are they
Mm.
gonna say, fuck this whole living room thing? Xbox have obviously just beaten us to the punch on that, or are they gonna say, we want to be part of that and just basically put all their eggs in that basket because they've got to really push for it if they want to.
Yeah.
Falls flat in their face, then all the hardcore in brackets hardcore gamers aren't gonna want to play it.
They're not just going to completely ignore it because if they find a market share that they
Oh,
can
no, yeah.
access easily, even if it's like they do a shit job, they're still going to try at least to.
That's more the nature of like devices recently. Every device has Netflix and Facebook and Twitter and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of, that's sort of expected, but it's whether or not they're going to push for that and whether they want that to be their like.
I,
real
I,
market.
even if it's not their push, I don't think Sony are going to completely leave that fight. I think what they're going to do is they're going to set themselves up in a way so that you have that there available and then make the push something else. So they make it a thing that you discover on your own. Not to say that they're going to put it in some little corner. They will have some advertising for
Sony's
it.
terrible for that. Like
But, yeah.
finding that kind of thing on the dashboard or the XMB is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like it's really not.
Which is amazing because you know that graphical user interface actually won awards.
XMB.
Yeah.
Which awards? Maybe these
The
people-
oh god, I can't remember the name of it. The graphical design awards. I don't know, some awards in Europe.
How
Look
that
it up on
win
Google.
A single award is.
It,
beyond
it
me.
did. It won awards. It won design awards.
No fact
for
checking on the podcast. Thanks.
fact
know
checking.
that,
Who needs it?
We know that the next.
My word is law.
Yeah, I'd rather be wrong.
My word is God. You take mine as sanctum.
Well, we know that the
Sacrosanct.
Xbox has an AMD graphics card yet.
Yeah.
Does the PS4 have an AMD graphics?
We know basically the plan is to make them much more like the reason so many games had problems on PS3 like Skyrim and all that kind of thing was because they use cell processing, which is a completely different structure to a normal PC
Yeah,
or Xbox.
That's why they had the whole problem with like everyone's like, oh, PS3 has no games
Yeah.
because the developers were actually learning how to develop for the actual
With the
system.
big-
that they
Yeah,
use.
and
the
it actually-
idea now,
Goes to the head.
the idea now is to for both of them to have that Xbox style open PC architecture that's easy to develop.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the two consoles have been talking to each other, or the two companies have been talking to each other, saying, "We need to make sure neither of us like." It's good for them both to have the same thing.
Yeah, it's not even Xbox style. It's more like faux PC.
Yeah, basically, it's a standard computer game graphical architecture.
Yeah.
Hardware wise.
At one stage, didn't PlayStation want to get like Halo from Xbox or something? Because like Halo, well, they wanted to
That'll
make it.
never happen, man.
Yeah.
No, that will no. Halo is Microsoft's ace in the hole.
Exclusive, yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
They're never going to give that up.
And
Same
that's
goes
why-
for
that's
Gears of
one
War.
thing-
Microsoft getting charted, right?
That's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
difference, like
They'd
with the
have
two
to
consoles. The exclusives. That's one thing that Sony just can't like push hard enough. Like they've got some great games out there.
But it just doesn't compete with some of the Xbox.
Yeah, but
exclusives.
is that marketing? Like Uncharted's a damn good game. I'd say it's probably as good as Halo.
It is really, it's good, but Halo just gives you that whole online community.
Halo
you
is iconic now.
Yeah,
in gaming.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
But is that
Even
down
the
to marketing?
PlayStation players are all.
Well,
like,
you know
oh,
what?
Yeah,
Speaking
yeah.
of Halo, ex-Halo developers Bungie actually revealed the next project, Destiny.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did. They finally released a VDoc today, I believe. It came out today. It was a small 4.5-minute video.
What's
I
a
don't-
VDoc, John?
I don't know why they call it a VDoc. It is a
Video
it is a documentary. video. I mean, that documentary is on video.
I
Yeah.
beat
Right?
off 2.0.
Yeah, I don't know what the VDoc. It's that.
I-
Honest to God, Bungie,
I
like,
swear.
Bungie, I love you guys, but you can be a bunch of wankers when it comes to naming your documentaries. So anyway, so they've released a video now, and it's about their upcoming title called Destiny. And what it shows is it shows off a little bit of the story, it shows off a little bit of the gameplay. It's basically a taster of what the game is going to be.
Yeah.
A lot of it is about the intentions of the
Yes,
developers,
it
their
is a-
philosophies. And that
On
kind
top
of
Yeah.
of those concept arts that we originally saw, they just want to like elaborate on that, like
Yeah.
extend.
It's
it.
more of a mission statement than like a documentary.
Yeah.
Essentially.
that's
So
true.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
what
actually.
we can gather from this video so far is that Destiny is going to be a first person shooter. Right, definitely in that first person perspective. They showed off some gameplay footage where you are holding a gun in the first person view, right, and it looks very much like a Halo assault rifle with a Call of Duty holographic sight on the top
It's
of it.
definitely just like Halo,
Um,
as they said themselves.
Well,
but-
they've stylistically. it means-
Stylistically.
Yeah.
But-
But the general, like, what do you call it? The architecture of the game seems a lot more focused towards the open world MMO kind of
Yeah.
game.
Well, we don't know that, do we?
Well,
That's-
that seems to be the.
It seems,
consensus.
yeah, from what you can dissect from the video and from what they want to do is that they say they want the game to go on for at least 10 years. Now, whether they mean do it like Halo, where they release a series of Destiny titles, so Destiny, Destiny 2, Electric Boogaloo, Destiny 3,
Destiny
right,
3,
The Empire Strikes
Finish the
Back,
Fight.
yeah, or something like that.
Destiny
Or-
3 ODST.
Yeah, or whether they release it like World of Warcraft, where you have expansion packs, right?
Well, the main push was towards a persistent world,
Yeah,
so that would suggest something more like World of Warcraft.
that's what leads me more to believe that it's going to be like a first-person shooter, multiplayer online title.
Yeah, so
Now-
MMO, but not MMO.
Yeah,
So this
it's
could
an-
be the actual first good console MMO.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
And it
thinking,
won't
and,
be on
and I'm
this console.
Yeah.
and I'm thinking in that. That being said, I think it will probably be almost exclusive to the Xbox 360, because the competition for that would be oh god, I can't remember the name of it. The one that
Mag.
the ones that are being made by Eve the people who make Eve Online, they're making their
Dust 514.
yeah.
that
So
sounds
because
really
because
good.
that is going to be a persistent world in that players in Eve Online can be
I don't think the
support
makers
ships.
of Bungie, the
It's
makers of Halo are going to
Activision.
worry
Like, it's
about
getting
that.
published by Activision.
Yeah, that's
When's the
surprising.
last console exclusive game they like?
That's true.
Yeah.
This is
but
something that really shocked me as well. I was speaking to Sana last week, and I had just sort of assumed that it was going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
Because it was Bungie, and then Sana's like, nah, no man, it's going to be on the PS3 as well. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's multi.
Blew
it's
my mind.
multi-platform.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I know, right?
yeah, but
I'm not easily impressed.
but the reason for that
Whoa,
being the
reception
reason
table with muffins.
but the reason why you assumed it was going to be automatically only for the Xbox is because
That's
for a long
Bungie.
time Bungie were owned by
Yeah, they're
Microsoft.
synonymous with Microsoft.
Yeah,
You'd
but
think.
but as of the last, well, when they made Halo Reach, after that point they bought themselves out of their contract, so they're now back to being an independent company. They're not owned by any particular major software developer anymore, which means though that any game they make, they can sell to any any console they like, which
Look
is
for
why they've got
Destiny on Wii
Activision
U.
as a publisher, right? The reason why they didn't have Activision as a publisher before was because their publisher was Microsoft.
Shows you how like popular the Halo series was. Like when you can buy yourself out of a Microsoft contract.
Yeah, that just shows how much money you make.
Yeah,
Um,
amazing. Halo.
But now that they've gone independent again, they need to sort of almost start from scratch as far as selling the game goes. Not as far as developing it, but as far as selling it, because they now have to deal with publishers. They now have to deal with multiple companies as opposed to just one company.
Do you think that this? I mean, we can all agree it looks a lot like Halo.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
the visuals, it's a space game. Like that kind
Oh
of-
well, the visuals we can't be too sure because like.
Yeah, it's early days.
Yeah.
But
But-
do you guys think that's because that's where their skills lie, or do you think that they're doing that specifically to cash in on their Halo fans?
I think that's because that's where their skills lie. Because if you look at the games that they made before Halo, right?
They made games before Halo.
Yeah, they made games before Halo. In fact, matter of fact, you can get some of them now for free. They released, oh god, I can't remember the name of it now.
Halo 1.
No. The game they made before Halo, I think it was called Mayhem or something. It was a sci-fi shooter, but essentially it was Halo without the name Halo attached to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Um,
guess, and this is like purely speculation. They probably had like some thing with Microsoft where they couldn't really do what they wanted to. So what they ended up doing was buying themselves out, making a Halo-esque kind of thing, and just did what they wanted to do with Halo all along.
Yeah, and they've got that freedom now as well. Like you got to
Yeah.
think if Activision's gonna give them the money for it, then they've got to respect what they've done with Halo and give them that freedom.
Yeah.
Like not like what we were talking about before with EA, where they just imprint themselves on it, like
Yeah.
motherfuckers, and squeeze money out of it. Like, you got to see that this Destiny going forward is not going to be shut all over by it. Like they've obviously been a bit infamous with things like Call of Duty, and did they do any music games as well?
They did the Guitar
Activision,
Hero.
yeah, Guitar Hero,
Like,
DJ
they
Hero.
annualized the crap out of them, they killed the franchise, but just the amount of control that it seems like the developers are having shown in these videos fills me full of confidence. I've got to say. Like,
See, there's another thing. Well, actually no. With the
Alright, never mind, no,
That's not another
he said no,
thing.
it's alright.
Nah, just with the Destiny being released on next gen consoles, they said there were rumors. I don't know if they were rumors or not, but they said that it's like the first one might be released in the window where it'll be playable on the current gen consoles.
yeah, no, they've said it's going to be released on current gen and next gen.
Yeah, much like GTA 5, because that's been delayed, so we don't know if that's.
Oh, I've got to say
definitely
this. It clicked in my head. GTA 5, they never actually said exact dates until recently. They always said early 2013.
And then they delayed it, yeah.
And then, the other week they've said we're going to push it back to, what did they say, August or something?
September.
No, they pushed it back to
June?
2 days after E3 finishes, right? So they pushed GTA back to
Wow.
the week after E3, and I just thought maybe this was the plan all along. Maybe they were already intending on doing this, or maybe they weren't initially, but maybe they've heard from either PlayStation or Xbox that they're going to do a massive reveal at E3, release the console, and then say it's available as of now, like they did a few years ago with the 360.
The
Yeah,
fact that it's in June though, kind of like,
But what I
sometimes
mean is-
companies will do that. They'll say they push it back to June because it's the last quarter of the financial year.
Yeah.
So what they do is they release it there, so all their yearly earnings will be like higher than.
Yeah, it helps with your stock holders and all that.
Yeah.
But what I'm proposing, what I hope is that basically after E3, one of the consoles is going to hit the market, and GTA 5 will be on it.
I mean,
Released at the same day as
there's a lot of evidence to support that theory. I mean, given, how long ago did the Xbox 360 come out? What, 6 years ago now?
It's like
than
7
8.
right now.
Yeah, 7 or 8
Yeah,
years
it's
ago
been
now.
ages.
So, I mean, it's not like they haven't had the time to build a next-gen console. So they could very well do that.
But then the only question, the only opposition I'd come up against that would be looking at the current screenshots and videos of
Yeah.
GTA, unless they're showing footage of the current gen version of the game and they have a hidden next gen version of the game. Because, like, it seems a bit amiss for Rockstar to release a GTA game. There's only been 5 of them, really.
Yeah,
Not-
I know, and it's
notable
been like
ones.
4 years since the last one. as well.
It's been-
No, 5 3D ones.
Oh, right, yeah.
And these are big games. This is industry massive, up there with Call of Duty, that kind of thing. It seems kind of strange for them to release that game months before new consoles come out.
Mm.
Like, why would they do that? It's Rockstar. They're
Marketing
stupid.
reasons, so that they don't lose money from it.
No, but they will. Like, if they release it along, like, obviously you want to hit the market. Where the install base of the Xbox is what, 50 million or something stupid
Yeah.
amount
Yeah.
like that. Like, you've got to hit that market, obviously. But to miss out on the next gen gaming and like all this opportunity that is there with all the new power of the consoles, all that kind of stuff. Like, why would they not do that?
They said, I mean, well, not they said, but it's very likely that a lot of the games that are gonna be released like towards the end of this year is like
They're peaking. They're the
cur-
best.
current gen and also playable on the next gen. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like Destiny and most likely like GTA. Like, why would they push it back so far? Except for reasons like competition and stuff. But like without having
GTA, like, if GTA takes a month of the year, everyone else accommodates for GTA.
Exactly. It's a GTA.
Well,
They don't have competition.
It's
That's the thing.
Rockstar.
I don't think GTA has ever been a release title for a console before.
It hasn't. But if you think
But
about
that being said, though, I think it could be, and I think if they do it now with GTA 5, especially because
that would sell consoles.
that would
Yeah.
sell. That would not only it would sell consoles, which would then mean that if they wanted to, they could probably get some pretty serious backing from from
Yeah, exactly. That's
which
what I mean. The
company
money
is going to
that
be
they would
releasing
lose-
that console.
The money that they would lose from not hitting the current gen market would be given to them by the first console that came out.
That's it.
Say
Yeah.
if Xbox came out a month before, and they had GTA 5 and only available on the new consoles, that's going to sell. It would piss off like 50 million people, but that would work.
Matt
But they've already
Factory all
pissed.
over again.
They've already pissed off 50 million people by saying that they're going to put the game back. I mean, like I read
Yeah.
I read some of the comments on the
Yeah.
Rockstar website, and another interesting thing about this release window, if it is released in September, is what you've got to remember is that the majority of these games are bought by Americans, right? And September is right towards the end of their summer, right? And it also comes right at the time when their high schools start back up again for the new year. Now, even though GTA would, in anybody's minds, would be considered an adult game, which should only be played by
That
people
market is
over the age of
yeah.
18. All right, everybody and their dog knows that it's bought by 15-year-olds, right, who are in high school,
Yeah.
right, and high school is a huge factor in when they have time to play the game, and if they want to, with GTA, which is such a huge game, which requires such a huge amount of time to put into it to play the game properly, right, to not bring it out during the summer holiday period is quite a hindrance on, will have an effect on their sales.
Yeah, but like even like having it in a time when kids can't play it, but
Yeah.
they really want to play it, so they go into school and they're saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get home and play GTA." That's just free marketing for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I
Do
don't
you
know
really
if they, I
think
don't know
they're
if
trying to
thinking,
manipulate kids?
Yeah, no,
like,
maybe they're not
for
thinking
free
this far
marketing?
into it, but yeah, I don't know. That's my theory basically.
Yeah, but do you know how much speculation it brought up when they said that they won't release it on PC, and then like
yeah,
and then
I played
what-
PC version of GTA 4 and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not having online is the best thing about that game.
That
And
was
the
like the
custom
hardest
radio
game
Plus,
to
station.
Max,
yeah, I was gonna say
but-
the mods really do make a lot of GTA games. Like basically every Bethesda game ever made. If
Hot
you
coffee.
you know, yeah, well the hot coffee. Well, see the thing is the
San
hot
Andreas
coffee.
has that multiplayer, the really popular multiplayer mod.
Yeah,
You gotta
the
think
San
GTA
Andreas
multiplayer.
Online.
It just makes sense. Like cars full of people riding around the cities, blowing shit
Really
up.
like
Yeah.
visually going up down the road.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I did
Yeah,
like
it's
that. But the
lame.
thing is that part of what made GTA on the PC so popular was that it not only had a community of players who wanted to play GTA and just blow shit up, right? It also had a community of modders who wanted to make modifications, build new cars, build new weapons, right?
The game's right for that.
Essentially, the development staff for Grand Theft Auto 4 was everybody at Rockstar plus several thousand subcontractors who were all working for free to make the game better.
Really?
A modder is just a dude who does it as a hobby.
So you're saying that the modders are
The
okay.
modders are the people who are essentially being subcontracted out to make mods for the game.
Yeah, but they
Right.
get careers out of that.
Exactly, they do get careers out of it, and that's why they find it worthwhile doing for them. But the reason why Rockstar allows you to do it in the first place is because it essentially updates the game without them having to pay anyone to do it.
exactly.
Right? It's free development time for them.
But
They've
you
got the
still want to
money
be
there.
like kind of tech savvy to actually find these. Like not everyone's gonna be looking
Steam.
for.
If GTA 5 comes out on Steam Greenlight, how good would that?
No,
Greenlight,
Steam Workshop.
Workshop, sorry.
Yeah,
Steam
Green
Workshop.
Light.
Well,
You have to,
and
like,
that's
100 votes to
yeah,
get.
and that's the thing though. As far as installing mods go, you didn't have to be that tech savvy. With Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, somebody made one called the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas mod install, and what you did was you downloaded the mod from the internet. You told the installer where that file was on your computer, and then it installed the mod for you. And what it also did was allowed you to create backups and things like that. So if the mod didn't particularly work, it was a bit buggy or glitchy.
You don't have to go
right?
through a big
You don't.
reinstall.
You don't have to go through a complete reinstall. That's right. You could just remove that particular section or run that back,
I've
run
got a
backup,
similar,
and
similar
you're
mod
sweet.
manager for XCOM, and it works really well.
Yeah.
You can just pick all the ones that you want to have.
Yeah.
And just
I've got one for Fallout New Vegas. Again, Bethesda and mods are just like hand in hand.
Yeah, Skyrim
Right. The
mods are
mod
crazy.
manager
the only
for
way you can get
Fallout
it to
was just
work.
fantastic.
I've got a version of Skyrim on the computer that has between 50 and 100 mods on it.
Yeah, my version of San Andreas had about 150, 200 mods on it, and that was all like I changed all the cars over to real cars. So people had made like the Chrysler 300C, people made Ferraris, people made Lamborghini.
Did they handle differently and stuff, or did they just take the handling from cars? that
No,
already existed?
handling was all the same. They just changed the bodies.
Yeah.
Right. There were some that did have an effect on handling.
What about
but
were they destructible? Did the parts of the cars come off?
some of them did, some of them didn't.
Yeah.
I had one that changed. The fastest car in San Andreas was called the Bullet, and I had it change it to the the Audi that was driven in iRobot.
Yeah.
So it changed
Oh,
the
wow.
Bullet to that, so it looks like that Audi concept
Like
car
the floating one with the.
with the wheel,
hover wheel
the
thing.
spherical.
Is it like
It wasn't a
bridge?
hover wheel, spherical wheels.
Oh yeah, no, because
Right.
they changed directly. You could drive sideways
Yeah,
and stuff. That was
sideways
cool.
stuff. Now, even though it didn't allow you to drive sideways and stuff, I liked that. That didn't have destructible parts, but the person who made the mod for, I can't remember what the name of the car was, but what it changed it to was a Chrysler 300C, which is my favorite car. That had destructible parts, like the doors could rip off and crap like that.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
it was
ju-
like
just yeah, go.
yeah, I was just gonna say like when GTA 4 came out, it was just like an innovation in technology. You can like go through a boot and it opens and like.
I remember the first time I did that. and
Yeah,
it
I was just
blew my
playing-
mind. I was like, PS3.
Well,
I
Yeah.
didn't have a PC that could run GTA 4 for like 3 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
or
wow.
even
Yeah,
Max
me
it
neither.
out,
Really good
like,
on PC.
recently.
Like really good.
Nope.
Mine
Except
couldn't
helicopter.
now. Like at the time, you needed like some space age processor, and
Yeah.
like the graphics card didn't really matter actually for that game. But
They were pretty good about letting you change certain things, like the draw distance and that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
you could scale
Yeah,
up
there's
and
quite
down.
a
then you
bit
might
of
as well play
options.
console, and you can like put all the settings down low. And
Yeah, yeah.
draw distance is 0.
Yeah.
But like, I would honestly recommend anyone play GTA on PC just for the fact that you can aim with the mouse out the other side of the car.
Oh,
Like, you can-
absolutely.
if you're driving 100 miles an hour, just headshot someone at once.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely.
Precision drive-bys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really one of my only real preferences between console and PC, aside from mods, was being able to manually aim. It was
Custom radio station,
and custom.
Yeah.
I actually used to do that when I was a kid. I used to make my own custom radio stations.
like with a
Like-
dictaphone.
Yeah, with a little microphone plugged in a micro. I did one for Vice City where I had a jazz radio station because I had all this jazz music from my mum. So I created this jazz radio station. I even created a character, and the character was just like this really chilled out dude, right? But he was really pissed off at the maintenance guy who was this complete idiot who didn't know what he was doing. Like he was using a baby tiger to try and unscrew something, and things like
Is there any way
that.
we can get like
Yeah.
our hands on this?
I tried looking for it like a couple months ago and I couldn't find it. But
I love
oh
going
my
back and
god.
listen to the Vice City talk shows.
Yeah, I love the Vice City, and that's what I was trying to recreate that, and I did it pretty well. I like to think, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well, no one will know now.
yeah,
Lost it,
no one.
so-
I won't even know
Keep
now.
searching, man. Keep
Yeah.
searching.
No. I've my hard drive has crashed like 3 or 4 times since then, so
Oh, cool.
it's just disappeared into the universe.
Just quickly before we move on, I want to say one more thing about this whole next console thing with the new GTA. When any GTA has come out recently, there's always been 3 or 4 iterations of it that come out afterwards.
Yep.
Especially with 3, but like even with 4, like not as big. They weren't as big as like San Andreas or whatever, but they definitely pushed the expansions pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like
Are you talking about things like episodes from Liberty City?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, they didn't start till 4, really.
Oh, but like
That's not true. There was
San
there was
Andreas-
Vice City stories, Liberty City
No,
stories.
but like San Andreas and Vice City were complete expansions on 3. They weren't their own games. There was a reason they weren't called GTA 4.
Yeah,
So-
yes, but that's just like that's the
Bas-
naming thing.
basically
I thought
what
the
I'm
reason-
They
saying
were
is-
called 4.
No,
you
but
would
it was the
believe
same
it.
engine. It was the same
They
world.
were
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
What I'm
so-
saying is that basically when they make a numbered GTA, they stay in that world and they make mods and they put expansions, all that kind of stuff with it for a long time. If they're going to release 5, primarily on current consoles, then they've basically shot themselves in the foot as far as continuing on with that. Because they're
That's
not going to
true.
redevelop the game unless they're going to call it GTA 6, and to go from 5 to 6 within 2 years isn't going to happen.
Yeah. Well, see, an interesting thing about 5 is because it is set in San Andreas. San Andreas isn't a primary location of the other numbered series. The numbered series, the reason why they had them sort of as a numbered series, in what I thought was because the numbered ones were set in Liberty City with a continuing universe like that, and then San Andreas and Vice City were sort of side stories which linked back in part to
Yeah.
GTA 3. So sort of like the link in San Andreas was the when you were in Las Venturas dealing with
Doing the race.
dealing with the casino owners when you're doing the heist, right? You're dealing with the Leone family from GTA 3.
Yeah.
In Vice City, you're dealing with the Forelli family from GTA 3, who were the rival family to the Leones.
Chinatown Wars.
I don't know anything about Chinatown
Neither
Wars.
do
I
I.
never got around to playing it because I
I
don't
didn't
own
play
a
any of the
DS.
expansions for the 4th one.
The thing is with
that was a
so
DS game.
so
Oh, was it?
so with GTA 5, my point being with GTA 5, if it's set in San Andreas, how are they going? Are they going to just sort of go off in a wholly different direction to what they were doing before with the other numbered games, or are they going to have some sort of a link between 4 and 5?
I think you're going to see
to say-
characters from San Andreas.
That was my
GTA
other
5.
question. Are
Yeah,
they gonna
yeah.
are they gonna just expand upon San
Big
Andreas?
Smoke.
Now, well, that's
Smoke
that's-
returning in 2013.
you
Yeah,
can't.
you've
He's,
got
he was.
DLC
Yeah.
You can't. You kill him at the end of San Andreas. He's
Oh,
dead.
This
yeah.
is like a side story, like it's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
No, because no,
Swear.
no.
That'd be
GTA 5
intense.
from all the trailers, including the logo
Present
itself,
day,
it
right?
is set. No, it's not set present day. It's set during the global financial crisis,
Oh, okay.
right? And the whole idea of the story being that you are a person
Little Smoke returns.
in you are a person in witness protection, right? And even though you're doing fairly well for yourself because everything is paid for by the US government, right? Even then, the US government hasn't got that much money, and you still got to start getting back into your life of crime to get by.
I'm
Right.
looking forward to having stuff to spend your money on in this game.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic.
But
GTA 5,
that's sort of
yeah.
the whole idea it asks the question, what happened to America during the global financial crisis? Just as in GTA 4, what it looked at was the immigration issue in America. So even though it failed at it completely
yeah, it
horribly,
did it for like an hour. And then
it did it for an
yeah,
hour.
ignored it
For the
after
for the
that.
first hour of the game, like what I thought the whole game was going to be was it was going to be an outsider's perspective upon America. So you come from
Yeah.
a nation and you enter this
It
mad
kinda
world of
was, like,
insanity.
when you go to the comedy house and
For the
stuff like
first,
that.
yeah, but the thing is, for the first hour, it was like that, where you were an outsider, looking into America and getting an outsider's perspective of America. But after an hour, you basically become Yankee Doodle Dandy, Mom and Apple Pie,
Bob
right?
Burgers and
Bob's
like,
Burgers
Top
and,
Hat
and all and top, all right, and then you just become a madman from a mad world, entering another mad world with other mad men.
Well, I'm glad to see that they're breaking out the formula a little bit for fun. Like, it's
Yeah.
3 main characters.
Yeah,
that you can
I
alternate
wanted to
between
ask.
at any given time. Sounds
Mm.
fantastic. Really busts open the formula.
Simultaneous co-op stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah, what do you think of that though? Like,
oh, I'm stoked about that. Like,
Really?
the last 8 GTA games have all been the same story basically.
Mm.
Think about it, like,
But and also what really annoys me is that when you play as one character, they're always telling you to drive. It's sort of like, oh hey bro,
Yeah.
you just got off the like San Andreas for example. Oh hey bro, you just got off the plane from an awfully long flight. We haven't seen you in 5 years. You drive.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, and then you say, oh, but hey, you can shoot too. We know you're a pretty good marksman. And in GTA 5 with 3 characters, even though one of them will be told to drive, you don't necessarily have to drive. You just flick to another
But
character.
if you played Saints Row, you'd realize that making you drive is probably the best option. Making an AI drive, trying to go through all these streets.
Oh no,
with cars
I
and-
learned that the
multiplayer.
hard way in Halo. I used to
that's
always
right.
jump.
Oh,
I used to
man.
always jump in the rear gun of the Warthog and just have the big machine gun go.
taking
Yeah.
half an hour to get across the street. Like,
Yeah, that's
but
it.
do you
They'll be
think
like-
that you'd be able to play like 3-player co-op?
yes.
GTA 5.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's the whole point. It's gonna be fantastic.
Sweet.
That's
I know,
pretty
right?
sick. But
But-
only 3 players.
Well, yeah, I guess it's 3 main characters.
someone
Well,
makes
it's better
their
than,
own.
it's better than one
Their,
player
their
co-op.
example,
Yeah.
their example in one of the videos that they released. Oh, they didn't release it. They showed it to a bunch of media people. It was a mission where you are doing basically a heist, like one of the smaller level heist missions.
Yeah, I read that actually.
Yeah, and like the 3 players, one of them is inside the building, like stealing whatever it is.
The other guy's
One guy
sniping.
is, he's sniping from the helicopter, and one guy is flying the helicopter.
Mhm.
And you can take control of any one of those 3 at any given time. Now, specific missions, you'll get forced to be specific guys.
So would that
having
mean
actual-
if you're having trouble with one character, you just go to the flying guy and just fly around for a while until he beats the level for you?
Well,
Like,
no,
maybe.
I would say the idea is okay for the bank heist mission specifically. You've got all your money. You come out the bank and you're pinned down by enemy gunfire. So obviously you can't pop your head up, or you're just going to get destroyed in a hail of bullets. So you need a little bit of backup. So you switch out to the
Yeah,
character
exactly.
in the helicopter. You get him to fly to the specific point. Then you switch into the guy who's a sniper, and then you pick off those guys because you've been able to come in from behind and just take them all out. And then you switch back to the guy on the ground and advance him forward.
They've got a job on their hands to make it work in that way, like a single player way,
Yeah.
and also work as co-op, and not have someone just sat there in a helicopter for 5 minutes while you do the mission. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Unless you
really
wanted
interesting.
to.
Well, yeah, some might.
Oh, and that
might
can be the
someone's
ultimate choice.
bad.
Yeah.
But as far as a teamwork choice goes with co-op, that's a hell of a lot easier, especially if you've got microphones, because you just say, "Dudes, I'm in a bit of trouble. I'm in a spot of bother. Could you please come down and mop up a little bit of mess for me?" And then all of a sudden you have the dude just go right
Wait,
with
that
the
brings up
minigun or
another
whatever.
point. Don't you think that if you're playing 3-player co-op, you're assigned a character and you can't
Yes,
change?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that'll be the way.
Yeah.
That would be a bit restrictive, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
exactly.
it also adds a little bit of replayability, because then you can play through it on your
Yeah.
own, and then you can go back with a
Yeah,
couple of
very
buddies.
true, very true.
So it just gives you that replayability.
Yeah.
That's all.
So I'm glad we all had fun today, but I reckon we've been going for, an hour and 40 minutes now, so I reckon we should wrap it up.
Any more news?
There's more news, but no.
Podcast.
I want to go home and eat and stuff. Alright, so thank you all for coming. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all for anyone who is still listening, i.e. me again. At home, it's like, is that what I sound like? So thanks Chris, Sano and John.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
No worries. All right.
We will see you, I don't know when.
Next week.
Uh,
Same time.
let's be optimistic. Next week, see ya.
Same bet time, same bet channel. 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 Same bet channel.